Hey, Patriots fans, if you want to see Toyota's best offers, including those not seen on TV, go to buyatoyota.com. It's Toyota's official website for deals from the official vehicle of the New England Patriots. Toyota, let's go to Grandma's for Thanksgiving.
Some of the content of Patriots Unfiltered may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The world's original podcast.
Welcome to Patriots Unfiltered.
Imagine if, we could make fun of other tems. Oh, my God. With the snark that we have in this.
Why are you looking at me?
I would be there for that, as the young people say. I would be there for that. Assistants start setting up, stuff for off season because they don't know if they're going to have a job and they have families.
I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, it's
Mike looked like he was just troubled.
I got a family.
It's the content team under the
Should I be
We need
calling
an
other
all-new content team.
Blow it up.
Hey, Evan.
Yes, sir.
Got a bone to pick with you, boo.
Here we go. Okay. What's up, babe?
Oh,
Yeah.
Daniel Jones. I think he'd be better if he was Dan Jones.
Michael Penix, as I like to say, collects more dimes than any other quarterback in this class.
As he likes to say, Fred.
You always say that.
Jobs more.
I always say, how do you nurture them with this team right now? I mean,
tell them it's going to be okay.
This is Patriots Unfiltered.
Presented by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
All right, welcome to Patriots Unfiltered. It is Wednesday here at Gillette Stadium, our final show of the week because tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So happy pre-Thanksgiving to everyone out there. We'll be doing this show. Got to hurry because we're going to have to do picks. A lot of early games.
Full slate.
We got 3 Thursday games and a Black Friday game this week. And I want to read a little thing a little later.
Okay.
It's from Joe Pompliano, who kind of covers the league
I
from
know
a
that
business
name.
standpoint.
Yeah.
He's got some interesting story about how Amazon is handling this Friday game. I thought it was interesting, so maybe I'll read it. It's not long, but how
Does
they're...
it indicate how they claim that there's 82 million more people actually watching it than are?
something to that effect,
Okay.
but it's really
Something to that
it's really more of a technology
I
thing.
actually was being snarky, Paul.
Do you want me to just do it now?
I'm
Yeah,
you got me
intrigued.
intrigued.
Fred.
Okay.
I know.
So this is,
We could break down the 2 and 8.
yeah. So this is Joe
3 and 7,
Pompliano
whatever.
at Joe Pompliano. He says Amazon is paying $100 million to broadcast the NFL's first ever Black Friday game. But it's really a chess move to steal market share from brick and mortar stores and generate online sales.
Yeah.
Let me explain. Thanksgiving Day football has always been huge. Last year's games averaged 33.5 million viewers, including 42 million viewers for Cowboys-Giants, the most watched regular season game of all time. I didn't know that. Then he goes into 2020.
The most watched regular season game on Thanksgiving of all time?
He just said of all time.
Because
Didn't
didn't
clarify.
wasn't the Monday night game that just happened yesterday the most watched Monday night
Maybe
game
he
ever?
wrote this 2 days early.
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know.
2022 average viewership, NBA Christmas Day was 4.27 million. NFL Thanksgiving Day was 33.5 million. But the NFL has never done a Black Friday game because, one, and I didn't know this, it's a holiday known for people leaving the house to go shopping. I knew that. But two, the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961 prohibits prohibits
Precedent.
prohibits NFL games on Fridays after 6 o'clock and all day on Saturdays during the fall. This rule was implemented by Congress to protect high school and college football from seeing a decline in attendance and viewership because of the NFL. But Amazon offered the NFL $100 million for the game, so they decided to put it at 3 p.m. ET to skirt the rule. And it's an even better deal for Amazon. Amazon is allowing anyone to watch. Amazon's first Thursday night football broadcast generated more prime sign-ups than any 3-hour window in company history. And Amazon is also reportedly charging 2x more than their Thursday night football broadcast for 30-second ad placement. And he goes into what those pricing is. But more importantly, Amazon will leverage its new ad strategy called audience-based creative. This will enable brands to target different audience segments with different ads in the same time slot. For example, according to Ad Age, Bose, we know Bose, right?
We love Bose.
Will show
Sony,
they'll show three different ads using Amazon's ad technology. The first ad features Joe Burrow. and will be delivered to non-Prime members,
Oops.
while the other 2 Bose ads will feature different products and be shown only to Prime members based on their Amazon Prime search history.
Oh, God.
And here's the best part. These targeted ads will also be shoppable, meaning viewers can watch the commercial, place the product in their cart with the click of a button, and check out without ever leaving the broadcast.
Thank God Beth doesn't watch football.
Yeah, that makes Amazon's broadcast far more valuable than a typical commercial. Brands will be able to retarget these customers after the game, and it also gives us a view into how brand advertising could look in the future. So it goes on, but
Very interesting.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
You know,
Cool,
so it's
or
mo-
Big Brother's watching us.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Big,
So-
big Bezos.
I mean, so now, like, why would Amazon pay all that money for Thursday? Now it's starting to become a little clear about, you know, if they're
Oh,
going to do
yeah.
it for Black Friday, they'll probably keep doing it for other games
Yeah, and
too.
if you want to be a player in this arena, you are probably going to have to take some losses up front.
Yeah.
And pay more than, you know, the big boys normally do.
But for a company
Absolutely,
like
I get it.
For a company like Amazon, they can directly market to people. They know who they are because you're signed in. If you're a Prime member, you have. So it's very
text-
smart.
That
worries me a little bit.
That might actually get me to watch the game
Yeah,
because I
potential
don't.
ads.
I'm a Prime member. Is everybody here a Prime member?
Yeah, I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I just want to. I'm kind of curious to see what they would target.
Right. Well, is it
My
Beth? Is it
household.
Beth's stuff? Like
Yeah,
it's all going to be
it-
stuff that Beth bought,
Yeah,
not
but that-
for Paul.
But that's good.
right. What's good for
I don't
them
know
if
what
it
you know-
Beth's
do-
watch?
You know what's coming up, Mike?
But
Do you?
Yes. I've been reminded.
you know, they've always said that with the World Wide
forgot
Web and
Beth's birthday.
everything.
You know that
we're gonna get like targeted ads, and to some effect, you do get
Yeah.
that based on your search history. But this, to me, is the silver bullet, and Amazon is a perfect company to take advantage of.
Oh God, I'm gonna get so many dog ads. It's just
Yeah,
gonna,
well-
it's just gonna be like
Woof.
dog,
Well,
Purina,
probably.
dog toys,
But I would rather
Petco,
I would rather
Chewy.
Buffalo
I'm
Blue.
okay giving up a little bit of information to get things I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I'm good with that exchange.
Yeah. Well, you still get like targeted ads. Like sometimes you'll be watching shows and then it's just like a lot of like male enhancement ads
like-
and things like that, and you're like, man, is
How
this
did
the
they know-
demo I'm in now?
I don't get any of those.
No.
I don't know what you're talking
Paul gets
Really?
Paul
I'm
gets,
a real man.
yeah, Paul gets all like the rugged man,
I get like,
F-150.
you know, like the
ad.
outdoor
Wrangler jeans.
the outdoor soap there. you
Yeah,
know,
right.
for, like, working man's
Yeah,
hands.
right.
Oh God,
So,
it's
but
gonna be a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
That
Dog
is
ads.
interesting. I'm curious
Well,
now to see what kind of ads they throw at me.
Yeah,
'Cause
what do I
don't
get?
I don't generally watch any of that.
Well, it's
I
gonna
don't
be
watch the
all-
Thursday night games because of the ads.
Yeah, well,
I want to change the channel and I can't.
yeah,
It's going to be targeted to my wife primarily, who buys most of the Amazon stuff. So that's, and she's not going to watch. So I don't know. Maybe
well, when you
Amazon needs
when,
to weigh that.
when you go to Amazon Prime, it asks you who's watching. So have you never signed into Amazon Prime?
No, I have.
So
yeah.
there's little
Yeah.
squares.
Yeah.
Make sure you
And-
select Deuce.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if I select the kids? Then what are we getting?
Right.
Then I don't know if you
See,
want to
that's the
know.
thing. I don't think I have a profile. I think it's,
Yeah.
I hit Beth.
So you're gonna get all best stuff, and
Yeah.
so now you'll know what you're gonna get for Christmas.
Or what Beth wants for
I
Christmas.
was kind of hoping I would know what to get Beth. For Christmas.
Well, maybe you can just do your Christmas shopping right during the game, Paul.
Well,
this
that's
could
why
combine things.
I'm
like
intrigued.
Click,
Because what better way for me to shop than watching a football game and hitting a button?
Oh, what the?
Well,
That might as well have been made for
Yes,
me.
please.
But I think Amazon's going to show the way to a lot of other companies, and I think the next step for me is gambling, where you can just sit on your couch with
yeah.
your remote. Xfinity is involved; they get
Yep.
some of the vig, and you can place bets on your remote.
Yep.
We can't do that though.
No, we can't.
But-
but the public will be able to do that.
So
That's a
you brought up the
gonna be
gambling thing. Do you think there's any potential pitfalls for the NFL with like the Cincinnati situation last Thursday? Ironically, in the last stream on
Oh,
Amazon?
not. Yeah, I mean,
What do you mean?
No, Cincinnati.
They have to enforce those.
I'm not talking about
Oh.
Cincinnati. Cincinnati should be in trouble for lying on the injury report. They'll probably get fined.
Yep.
But I'm talking about like the Portnoy nonsense of like a class action suit against the NFL for not people who bet on that game not knowing that Burrow was hurt.
Well,
Like, do you think there's any issues for the league at large? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I get like Cincinnati clearly took liberties at the very least with the injury report. That he should have been on the injury report.
Yep.
Even though they knew he was playing.
Yep.
He was hurt, and they knew he was hurt, and they should have divulged that. I think they should be fined for it if they haven't already. I haven't really seen anything.
No, but you're right. But
I mean bigger picture, and Portnoy was on this, and
Right.
Portnoy's not a dumb guy. I mean, he knows how to stir the hornet's nest.
Before gambling was legal, you had no recourse. You're not supposed to be doing it anyway.
Right.
But now that it's legal, it opens up that door.
It's tough. I mean, you have, there's issues with like players gambling, stuff like that. All those issues are going to come to a head, and it makes it so easy. Like I don't know. There's part of me that knows there are people that are going to struggle with that. Like just easy bet, boom, and next thing you know, you're 10 grand in the hole because it's so easy just to hit your remote button instead of having a.
There's a Monday night
sign.
game. I can get it back.
Because you just and not that I know from experience, but at first you're just like, oh, it's just $20. Like,
Right.
it's $20, and then it becomes 40, and then it becomes 60, and then all of a sudden you're in the hole.
I think
down.
the way in is like parlays. That's what I used to do, where it's just it's a $5, 3 different thing.
Right.
It's no money, but if you hit all 3, and then it makes the whole day interesting. That was the way when I did a little bit back in the day, college football gambling. That how I got kind of into it.
Yeah, before I
figured
worked
you were
here.
betting on basketball.
Now he's like
Your vast
twitching because he
knowledge.
can't.
I know. Well, I was primarily motivated when you have no real rooting interest in a game, and it's like I'm going to this party. I remember this like 11 or 12 when it was big deal USC Notre Dame. I think it was like Reggie Bush and those years and stuff. And it was
one
just
of the greatest reactions in the Patriots
huge.
On the butt. Remember when we got there, Fred? I forget the
the
trip
Bush
that we
push?
were on. Yeah, that game.
Yeah.
McGinnis and Givens almost came to blows after that
That's
game.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Not real blow. I mean, not really. It was lighthearted.
That was the fun of it, though, is when you don't really have a rooting interest, you're going to be stuck watching the game. So let's do a little.
Yeah, listen, back in the day, I lived on Com Ave with a bunch of guys. We had 6 bedrooms in this apartment, and we bet on Sunday, and it was fun. It like you said.
What does the amount of bedrooms have to do with?
Well, I'm just saying, we literally called it the men's club.
Yeah.
And so. Like Sunday was sit around, eat, and watch football, and put a little action on it, and it just made the whole day interesting, even if you could care less about the teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little money involved. A little skin in the game, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what you guys get excited. I don't really get it.
The guy who used to pick up our losses was a Boston fireman. So.
I'd never gambled before, so.
No?
Not on games, no.
I haven't for
never,
a long time.
Just gamble on life.
All the time.
Yeah.
No, I play a little blackjack here and there, but I've never actually placed a bet on a sports
But
game.
now that
before.
I've done.
Now that we're employees
But
of
I haven't
the
bet on a
Patriots,
game in a long
we
time.
can no longer gamble.
I honestly kind of am happy about that because it's just
I'm not.
That's just a road I don't need to really go down.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Like
it definitely is.
the ease of it now.
Every once in a while, though, I'm like, I wish I could put money on this.
Right,
one.
the ease of it now, I would like, especially like a week like last week, and watching Red Zone all day. I would like to have like a couple of small, like Evan said, like a couple
parlays,
a little interest.
$20 things just to have fun with. But I haven't had a bet. In all honesty, I haven't had a bet on a game since high school. High school,
Yeah.
which kind of stinks.
You bet on high school games or
Made a bundle on Everett High.
what do you got on Everett? What's the action on Everett tonight?
Yeah.
It's been 30 years probably.
Same.
I wasn't big on the Joey the. I know you make fun of me all the time for being in Everett, Fred.
Yeah.
I was not big on the Joey the Nose. I always thought I'm going to be the one that gets caught. I'm going to get in trouble. I didn't
Right.
do a lot of that.
Yeah.
Oh, Paulie, won't see him no more.
No, that's what I always thought.
All right. 855-PATS-500 is the Ace Ticket Hotline, web radio at patriots.com. It is the day before Thanksgiving. So we're not going to be having a show tomorrow. But, of course, we'll have the pregame, postgame, and everything on Sunday. And we do have a game on Sunday.
Yeah, Mac Jones spoke this morning.
And Mac Jones spoke. I'm not surprised. Anyone surprised that he spoke today?
No.
Well,
No.
one of them has to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You're not.
No.
You're going to put Mac out. If you have to
Yeah.
put a quarterback out, you're going to put him out. I think he's going to start.
I do too.
Yeah. I do.
I'm really not sure.
You're not sure.
I know that sounds wishy-washy, but I'm not.
What do you think, Evan?
I don't think he should start. I think this is a bad spot for him to try to get whatever you want to call it, the yips or the
Yep.
the
Well-
seeing ghosts.
Well, as I said
Yeah.
in Mike's roundtable that he circulated, I think he's going to start, but it's going to be a very short leash, and they're going to tell him so before the game. Like,
I just don't see what the benefit of that is.
How does he deal with that pressure?
Yeah, bad.
But they've already put him under like I feel like that's what his whole career has been, and it hasn't gone well.
Right.
But I don't think they've ever said in a game,
double secret probation.
Bailey's going to be ready. It's a short leash.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Go face
tough.
That's tough.
Is that good for anybody?
I don't think it's good for anybody. I mean,
is that a good way to go into a game?
It's not if winning at all costs is the objective, but I don't think it is. I think at this point, it's who do we have?
I'm with you.
Who are our players?
Yeah, and that's what I was getting at the second question. In the like, no matter who starts, like, what are they looking for? I mean, is it out there? Like, I just don't know how Mac Jones can fix all the problems that we've talked about over the last 5-6 weeks when it's really just started to devolve for him with his throwing off his back foot. Not having any pocket presence, inability to escape any kind of pressure. How does that get right in 4 days off?
And that's why I would start Zappy.
Yeah,
that's why I would.
Not
too.
because I think Zappy's going to go out and throw for 800 yards and 5 touchdowns.
I know. I'm with you, and I'm kind of bummed that I feel this way. But it's just like if they haven't made a move to Zappy now, like why? Like I don't think they're going to unless Mac completely poops his pants in this game, like you said, and early in the game, and it looks, he gets that terrible pick out of the way in the first drive, and then it's like but what did you expect him to do?
If he starts this game and doesn't finish it for performance, don't you think you'd just start the next game?
I want to see.
That's how I felt last year. I mean, last time.
You can make the argument that his job's been on the line the whole way through, but I want to see how are you going to react when I tell you your job's on the line right now.
Well, that's operating under the assumption that hasn't been told to him before.
I said it could have already been done, but I still think they shouldn't have taken him out that game. Okay. He had one drive left. Let's see what he can do. So,
yeah. I would have taken him out 2 drives earlier.
Yeah.
Like that. Like, let's not make it sound like I wouldn't have taken him out because of performance. You would have,
because you think Zappy could have done better.
I know he can't do better. I've seen it for 2+ years.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think he's the best quarterback on the team.
I think he's the best quarterback on the team if he was mentally correct.
Yeah.
But this is a matchup against the Giants that Wink Martindale sends more pressure at quarterbacks than any coach in the league.
Trent Brown's back.
But blitz pressure.
We think.
They're gonna bring pressure from everywhere.
Feels like it.
And you're telling me that the best idea to get whatever path you want to take moving forward with Mac. He's on your football team, and he's under contract for next year, and he's part of this organization right now. The best path forward, after he clearly displayed that he is just seeing ghosts and all out of sorts in Germany, is to throw him into a game against Wink Martindale. Who's going to blitz him on 50% of his dropbacks, is going to bring 5- and 6-man pressure.
When did the Giants' defense become the 85 Bears?
That's not the point.
No, it is. I mean,
but the point is that he's already throwing off his back foot. He's already throwing all out of sorts against pressure. He has no pocket presence.
As Bill O'Brien has said, he's played well before, and he can play well again. I want to give him this last chance.
Yeah. I mean,
I would much rather try to. I think that this is.
I just don't get it. I don't get that.
It's a terrible spot for him. It's a terrible matchup.
Yeah, I don't know about the match. I know all about the blitzing. To me, you're playing an NFL team. That's a bad matchup. And I'm dead serious. Because he is. I think Mike said it earlier in the show. What evidence do you have that all of a sudden the back foot throws, the not feeling the pressure, feeling too much pressure, is going to all of a sudden evaporate after 3 years?
Maybe he didn't feel enough pressure. Maybe
I'm not talking about pressure for your job. I'm talking about actual physical pressure on the field.
Okay.
Pass rush. That's what Evan's talking about.
Right.
The Giants heat you up. Now, the Giants are not the best defense in football, but it's a pretty good defense that's made to look really bad by their offense. They get put in a lot of bad spots.
Yep.
You're gonna have Dexter Lawrence coming up the middle against a guy that already doesn't want to step up in the pocket. He's going to be throwing off his back foot all day long, and I don't understand how that is beneficial for Mac. Like
Right.
Mac, the asset. Like how does that help him?
Which
Well,
opponent?
Well, that's assuming that you believe he is an asset going forward. I want to see.
I just
Like,
want
I
to
don't-
see Bailey Zappi
beyond
play a
this
game
year-
and see if last year was just a complete and total
Yeah,
fluke.
yeah, beyond
I
this-
just want to see one game.
Oh, for Zappi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to see if it looks different.
Yeah.
Last year, it looked different when he played.
Yeah.
I just want to see it once. I don't think Zappi's better than Jones.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, it's fair enough.
But I just want to see if the offense looks different.
But if
because
that's
it did
the
last
if
year.
that's the case, Paul, and we don't know, he better be getting the majority of the snaps in practice. If that's what they're going to do with Zappi this week, it's only fair to him.
whoever's starting
Right.
is getting the majority of the
Yeah,
snaps.
well, I hope so.
I don't know who's starting.
No,
I hope
don't.
so.
And Mac talked about it a little bit this morning, and it was like, it was like one of those things. Do you expect to start? And I know Paul mentioned that people were running with his response a little bit, which I think was just
What did he say?
just a classic Mac.
He
like,
said, "I hope
yeah,
so.
I
That's the
hope
plan."
so. That's the plan. Like,
But that's
for
his,
him,
that's his plan.
that's his
Right.
plan.
That's how I read it.
Yeah.
But the guys did a good job asking him questions just about rotating snaps and stuff, and so he did like kind of acknowledge that that's what's been going on. So I don't know. Is somebody going to emerge today to Friday, and is that
Can we?
when it's
I
going to
mean,
happen?
if you guys don't agree, feel free. We can just drop it. I mean, I do not think that practice has a lot to do with this. Like, I don't think that Bailey Zappi is going to go out there and string
Right.
two good practices together, and they're going to say, you know what, Mac? He
No.
just practiced better than you.
Maybe
He's
not
gonna
this
get-
week, but I think practice overall has always a lot to do with it. And I think if Bailey Zappi had shown this season that he's coming on, he would have had more
You
opportunity
could
than
say
he
that
already has.
You could say that about training camp.
No, I'm
But
talking
I'm
about
not talking about week to
well,
week practice. It's all different. The backup quarterbacks don't get the reps. It's mostly just mop up.
but you're
Bill said he didn't even have many up. I mean, how many opportunities did he have to run the 2-minute drill? Like, and then he puts them out there for the 2-minute drill. He's like, yeah, he's done well with some of his opportunities. I think.
These coaches know.
But you're saying that with your belief that there isn't really a lot of reps being divvied up evenly, because if
No,
it
I
were
think
true,
if you're
you
really
think,
trying to get a quarterback ready to play in the game, he needs to get the reps.
right, and that's why it's such a disservice if this isn't really what. And these questions again, we're saying, are you going to be able to get ready if you don't have the bulk of the reps? And
Yeah.
how do you prepare the quarterback when you're in the middle of he got his 6 reps, now your turn? Like
You know
how?
me, I'm 100 years old, and I only remember things from like 25 years ago. But I remember Bill telling me how it's not feasible to get two quarterbacks ready for a game.
Yeah.
Back in 2001.
So, O'Brien said that
I'll never find that. So
two
never mind.
No,
quarterbacks.
somebody else did. It was on Twitter. Somebody else found that
Do you
quote.
know who?
Um,
I like to credit people.
It was either Mark Daniels or I don't think it was Kide. It might have been. It was one of the touchdown guys, I think. But somebody pulled that out. What was it, Giardi? No, Giardi gave kudos to the person who.
No, go to Giardi.
That's how I saw it, because Giardi reposted it.
So
So go to Giardi.
O'Brien said that 2 is doable. You can get 2 guys. You can give 2 guys competitive reps.
Andy Hart.
Oh, Andy Hart.
Who?
Why didn't I know that?
Andy Hart.
Yeah.
I don't think
he's
you
dead
can
to you.
really get two quarterbacks ready. I think you can get one ready, and that is what we have to do. We have to get one guy ready to play, and that is my responsibility to the football team.
2001.
Bill Belichick in 2001.
And that makes sense, because at that time, Andy was in the PR department for the Patriots.
He probably transcribed that.
Yeah.
Good job, Andy. I saw Andy in full football regalia there and on EI, had his helmet on.
Such an embarrassment.
How does they had helmets big enough for him at Dartmouth High School? They
Well,
would have had to
like-
order out.
Well,
for me.
actually, you know the things you use spaghetti. You put the
Colander?
Yeah, colander. That's all it
Sieve.
is. Yeah.
He looked good though. He was still filling out his helmet pretty nice. Got his stickers on there and everything. Dartmouth jacket, Captain Andy.
Cool.
So we wore all those in here once.
Yeah.
Fred had his wrestling singlet on.
Ooh,
He
Lane
didn't-
would have liked that.
He didn't really. No.
I brought it, but I didn't wear it.
And I had my BU Letterman jacket. He had his Dartmouth jacket.
Oh man, I think I chucked mine.
We were we had a dork fest.
Yeah.
It's fun. Memories.
Yeah.
Glory days, right? Am I wrong?
And Eric got his
But
kicker jacket.
Mine was from
St.
college, so
The leather sleeves.
Paul. I had the leather sleeves. Yeah, that's
good.
That's
Not the full.
The Dartmouth one was a leather sleeve
My
too.
my leather jacket for tennis got stolen.
Really?
At a dance.
Who would do that?
I don't
Those
have my
country
name
clubs.
on it.
Was it like a sweater with like it was like one of those
No,
button-down
trust me, it's
sweaters?
country club. They just steal for the sport of
Something you tie around your shoulders.
With the
Yeah,
big,
right.
just the big letter like
Right.
D for tennis. Little
DY.
sweater golf.
Yeah.
Call it sweater. Nice.
All right.
We're having fun.
Yeah, good stuff.
So
Oh,
the
boy.
Trent Brown thing you brought up real quick. What'd you guys think of that?
Well, there were two parts of it.
He had a dust up, right?
I agree.
There was death in the family, which
Oh,
said,
no,
like,
but,
his
and that's
uncle.
why I didn't.
Fine.
The personal stuff.
But
I
a
said
high-
that last week. I don't know what that is.
A high and a low ankle sprain, which stood out to me, and I'm like, so is he healthy? Is he gonna be able to go?
Oh,
like,
plus he said an MCL sprain.
Oh, I didn't see that one too.
Yeah, I saw knee and ankle.
Hey,
Yeah.
Well, we knew that before. I mean,
But
he
I
on
was
the injury
talking
list
more
for both.
like how much exception he took to the report that he was habitually late.
Yeah.
And then
that
said,
was
when
rough.
I'm late, I'm a grown man, and
If I have to go to the bathroom.
then you were late.
Yeah, right.
taking a poop.
Like,
I'm either going to the bathroom or I'm getting something for the training room.
great. You weren't at the Bahamas when the meeting was
Right.
going on, but you weren't in the meeting.
Right.
I got to be honest. Am I just misremember? I don't remember him. Like, at least as far as what we talked about, I don't remember him getting looped into that. I thought we just kind of avoided personal issue. I don't ever remember looping him into that he was late to anything or anything like that.
I know, like, I'm really snarky, and I get like why people make fun of me and stuff.
Don't like you.
When there's a personal thing that I don't know anything about,
Yeah.
I stay away from it
No.
because I think personal things can be a guy doesn't feel like playing, but a personal thing can be very serious.
Right.
And when I don't know it, I try really hard to stay away from it. And he said his uncle passed away.
yeah, his uncle.
Like that's a significant issue.
But who was looping him into the you're late crowd? I mean, I know
Albert
JC
Breer.
and
Albert Breer
Albert
had a
Breer.
report that said he's habitually late. And I don't think he did anything to discredit that other than say,
I was pooping.
I'm mad about that.
Yeah.
Well, he said it was BS.
The BS rhetoric.
Yeah.
right.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that was the phrase that he used.
Yeah.
But then when he explained it, he kind of explained that he's been late. Now maybe it's not habitually. Maybe he has a problem
Well,
with.
maybe
Yeah,
he,
I mean,
maybe he asked,
It-
teacher, can I go?
Yeah,
take
he's here to
they
the
gave
building.
him, they
Yeah,
gave
that
him the,
kind of student.
They
Yeah,
gave him the
right.
wooden pass.
And the
to
teacher,
take with
right.
the teacher
right.
looks at you and says, "Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead."
the hall monitors like making sure you have the pass. Yeah, maybe.
So, yeah.
But I just was curious how you guys felt
Yeah.
about the Trent
I
Brown.
mean, to me-
and I admit I have a little bit of a bias there.
I mean, the biggest thing to me was just the injuries. I mean, those sound significant. A high ankle sprain, a low ankle sprain. Now you're telling me an MCL. Like, how is he going to be able to play this weekend?
I don't think he should play the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Like I just think that he's one of those guys that I'm with Paul on this now because I've defended him on the field. He's been good when he's been healthy, when he's been playing this year. He's been a good player for them. I actually agreed with that part of his quote. Not a high bar, but he has probably been their best offensive player when he's been on the field.
Did
but-
he say that?
Yeah.
He said that about. I missed that. He
Yeah.
said that about himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put another strike.
Yeah, but I agree with him. But at the same time, it's just an example of one of those guys that it's just not good culture. Like it's just not. It's not what you can't build a team around
particularly-
guys like that.
How would you felt if Tom Brady said, I've been the best offensive player in the team this year.
Right.
True.
But like, no kidding. But like, would you feel good about like listening
Right.
to that?
Yeah.
Who says that about themselves?
PFF.
I mean, I'm
Well,
the best
it
member
was.
of this show, but I mean, it's obvious.
Well, Breer, I heard Breer this morning when he was talking about this whole
no,
thing.
he's not backing down.
And he said that, back in the day when Brady was here, he got to interview Belichick at length, and he said, what does it mean, when your best player is the guy setting the tone, along those lines? And Belichick paused and he said, that's exactly what you're looking for,
Yeah.
So in this case, you could make the argument that he is their best offensive player, and
That's the example.
that's the tone he's setting.
Yeah.
You know?
I think we probably just, for the best of the team, is to get out of this kind of cycle with him and move on with some,
Like
the
a-
third overall pick in the draft
I
as
knew he
a
was gonna
left
go there.
tackle.
I told you yesterday. I'll come over the table.
Yeah.
Like-
Patriots Nation's about to attack you.
Oh, Bedard likes the other guy. I heard him yesterday on my way
Foshanu?
home. Yeah, he likes the other tackle.
They're both good.
Yeah,
I think they're different.
I mean,
but they're
hand
both good.
I want to
placement,
see if I could get them
kick
going.
step.
Joe
Mano a
Joe
mano.
Alt is like your prototypical tackle. Fashanu is like the athletic freak. He's so I
So
think,
many choices. It'd be
Yeah,
tough
if
between
you're
the two
if
of
you're
them.
looking for more of that, like outside zone Shanahan type stuff, then I think Fashanu is probably better. But if you're looking for that old school hog molly
Oh, hog molly.
road
Never heard that
grader,
one.
Hog molly.
Never
If
heard
you can
that one.
If you can get 4, if you get stuck dropping
Joe.
down to 4 or worse, I think you got to trade down. You can't take a tackle at 4.
I think that we were talking about this on Catch 22.
And you know they're going to. You just know it.
Me and Barth are both, I think, in the Joel camp. assuming
That's
that they
unfortunate. I got nothing to listen to there either. I want fights. I want conflict.
assuming that you can't get the quarterback, obviously. Like the quarterback
Right.
is
Yeah.
number one for
Yeah.
every. No,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
you.
No.
You want the
I
tackle.
do.
Don't lie.
So bad.
But if you can't get, because my whole thing is like, all right, Marvin Harrison Jr. is this great talent, but if you don't have a quarterback that can throw him the ball and the quarterback's on his ass the entire game, then what good is it that the receiver's wide open down the field? So I look at like Garrett Wilson, like just getting wasted with the Jets because they have both of those things. They have no pass protection, and they have no quarterback. So as great as Marvin Harrison Jr. is, I think that it makes more sense to probably build up the line.
Yeah,
it
but
does.
in all honesty, do you really think Garrett Wilson would be wasted with that offensive line if Aaron Rodgers didn't get hurt?
No, but
I mean, Garrett Wilson's had some good games even with Zach Wilson.
right. But if you're assuming that they can't get one of the quarterbacks, and so whoever is starting at quarterback for you next year, whether it's Mac Jones or it's Jaden Daniels, it's going to be a guy that has flaws. Then
I'm going to stun you. I'm going to defend Mac. I think Garrett Wilson would have had a terrific year this year on the Patriots, with even with the Patriots offensive line and Mac. I think when you're that good and you get open that quick, he'd find. Now Zach Wilson hasn't been able to consistently do it.
If the Patriots had, this is what I hear you saying, Paul. If the Patriots had one guy who had a terrific year at that position, they would have won a few more games than they've won.
I agree.
You know?
They'd be 4-6.
Well, it's a couple games.
Yeah. They'd be out of it, but
No.
they would be better.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think it's all Mac. I've never said it's all Mac. I think I'm done with that because I think that you kind of are what you are. But I think if you had better players, you'd have a better record. Yeah.
And that's part of the intrigue to me of Zappy, of not that I think he's the answer, but just what does it look like? What does his energy bring to this team? You know, just how does it unfold? Is it exactly the same? Is he, just missing guys and it's another disaster? Fine. But we spend so much time trying to this part's the offensive line. This is the lack of weapons. This is the offensive coordinator, divvying up all the blame. Just see what it looks like with a different quarterback.
So what if he comes in and he's not good?
Yeah, that's probably what
Then
will
what?
happen.
Who's Zappy?
Yeah.
He won't be.
What's the difference?
Well, you don't know that.
But what's the difference? At least you know.
But do you go back to Mac?
For what?
competition.
For the rest of this year?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Well, I'm just saying. But what do you do?
I would play Greer to find out about him.
Yeah.
Oh, did you
it's
hear
a lost
Devin McCourty?
season.
Yeah.
Devin McCourty thinks they're
Will
going to
Grier?
start Will Grier.
What is he talking about?
I don't know.
I was just talking to Paul and No
I
Socks
think
about
there's,
this.
almost,
Will Grier,
almost a 0% chance of
Right.
him starting this week.
It's like the Will Grier or Illuminati. They're like, we know things that no one else knows.
There's like a secret practice that they're having that they're getting
Right.
him ready.
He was fine at West
right.
Virginia, let alone in the NFL.
He's totally right.
I just
no.
Crapped out at Florida.
Things are happening.
I think Paul said it earlier. You know right now that Mac Jones is a broken player.
Yep.
You know he's broken, and putting him out there in this game, I think is just a recipe for him to be an absolute disaster, which doesn't help you win a football game if that's what you're interested in, and it doesn't help Mac Jones and his long-term future. I've kind of come around on just seeing what Bailey Zappi can do, but I really just feel like it just is not a good spot to put Mac Jones back in. He's not going to play well in this game.
Do you think there's anything I know what.
Don't put words in my
I
mouth.
was going to say I can't because you picked the other. You picked the other way. I think this is a game they're going to win. I still think that. I know it's kind of silly. Do you think there's anything to the fact that maybe he's looking at us like we're going to beat the Giants? I mean, we're going to.
And then Zappy gets the credit.
Yes, and if I put Zappy in, we're going to win this game,
I
and
don't
then
know.
that's like
Right.
that.
I know it was only
forever.
I know it was only one game, but they turned Sam Howell over 6 times last week.
I know.
And if you put the guy that
I know,
literally is broken in a game against a defense that just forced 6 turnovers, I don't understand how that's going to be good.
I know, but Paul's right. If somehow they win and Zappy's the quarterback, that's it for Mac for the season.
It makes
Right.
it really hard
He's
for
done.
you to ever
Right.
try to go back to him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But, the Garrett Wilson thing, I was a little surprised that Evan didn't push back on. I was kind of anticipating. I will say what I thought you were going to say, Ev, is that, the Patriots' problems sort of developing wide receivers might make that different.
Oh,
here.
they would have ruined Garrett Wilson by now.
Ruined is a strong word, but there's
Broken.
There's some validity to that.
So I don't have. If we were talking about the next tier of receivers, like Roma Dunes from Washington or something like that, I'd be with. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is you literally can't break him. Like he's.
Oh no, I was just talking about Garrett Wilson in particular.
Yeah. So when it comes to evaluating like if they should take Marvin Harrison Jr., he's so good that I don't care who you give him to, he's going to be fine. But I just if the quarterback can't throw the ball to him and the offensive line can't protect the quarterback, you're just going to have this receiver down the field standing there, and then he's going to get frustrated and he's going to check out.
Porzingis in the paint the other night.
Right? Am I right?
Has there ever been a case of a team, drafting a guy high and then immediately trading him for an existing player that they wanted? Like, for example, let's say the Patriots drafted Marvin Harrison.
Has a first-round pick ever been traded without playing a game for that team?
Yeah.
Like, beyond, like, a Eli Manning kind of dispute?
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Like what if the Patriots, drafted Marvin Harrison and then traded him to the 49ers for Brock Purdy and Deebo Samuel?
His love affair with Deebo Samuel. First of all, Evan would quit because he hates Brock Purdy.
I have no interest in that trade.
No, but has anyone ever done anything like that?
I don't think so, because wouldn't you just trade the picks if that was, unless how would it all come together? Like if they're like, well, we really want this guy, well then just come take the pick and let's swap picks rather than.
I guess, yeah.
But he was Brock Purdy and Deebo Samuel for the pick.
The Deebo Samuel part of it makes it a little bit more intriguing, but the Brock Purdy part of it I can't get over. So
the answer is here.
Brock Purdy is, I say it all, he literally has the easiest job in the NFL.
I know.
Just throw the ball where it's supposed to be thrown. That's it.
That's not that easy in the NFL.
I
give him credit for smarts.
I would absolutely.
I give him credit for his play too. Yeah. I mean, I'm not lost in saying he should be like an MVP or anything silly. I mean, he's who 10th on the list, but But I do think that I've watched that offense play, and I think this is as productive as it's been since he took over.
Yeah.
Do you think they had any idea that he was going to be able to play like this for them? Like, I mean, it's just a complete shock.
But because play like what?
I know. We'll
like
just
people
be able
don't
to
watch
do it, right?
it. Like I just, it's so. Oh God. Like
just great football.
He's throwing to wide open people. Like I don't understand.
I think you're exaggerating.
I'm
a little
not.
Bit, a little bit.
Did you see how wide open Deebo Samuel was?
That happens.
What do you mean it happens?
I mean, Peyton Manning didn't get
Reggie Wayne
black marks because he was throwing to open. Marvin Harrison Sr. or
first of all, he did around here constantly.
Right? No, but the people, the experts,
including you, who dubbed him Naff.
Yeah, noodle arm. But no, we all know that it's more than just
penis
that.
head.
God, I wonder how hard it is to make that 3-yard throw in the flat to George Kittle.
This
is good
though.
You can't.
This is great.
All right.
I mean, it's high comedy. I love it. I'm here. As you said yesterday, I'm here for it.
So Jimmy, it must be terrible then.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Jimmy has always been terrible. Like, this is not.
No, he hasn't.
He
always
worships
been
at the shrine of Shanahan.
I mean, what's his record? He's got a pretty good record, right? Jimmy Garoppolo?
Well,
yeah.
I mean, Trey Lance got to be kicking himself.
You're into quarterback.
Trey Lance is like,
yeah.
I'm not talking.
I could have done
I'm
that.
talking about the production has been infinitely better since Purdy took over than it was with Jimmy.
Oh,
now
well,
the wins and losses are similar,
but Jimmy didn't have Christian McCaffrey.
That's true.
Fair enough.
But
he makes a difference.
He had all the rest.
He's a running back who makes a difference, Paul.
He is the only one in the league.
Oh, don't give me that. Come on, you have to acknowledge his greatness.
I mean,
did you see the touchdown pass the dime that Brock Purdy dropped to Christian McCaffrey? There was nobody within 10 yards of him. I can't believe he made that throw. That was incredible.
If a guy was this important, you'd think there would be someone near him.
Who's calling out the plays at the line? Brock Purdy. All right, 855-PATS-500 is the Ace Ticket hotline. Let's get to the phones because we got to hurry today. Eric's in New Jersey. What's up, Eric?
Hey, how you guys doing? Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
You too.
Thanks, Eric.
I just really want to talk, not really about Patriots, but just bigger picture with the NFL and the product. I know you guys were talking about it yesterday, but just some of the fines that, even you've seen Josh Allen fine, $10,000 just for pointing, Josh Jacobs, just lowering his helmet. It's just, what is this, the product that is coming? I mean, the quarterback's already overprotected. I understand that, these guys are high paid, but how much more can you protect the quarterback overall this league? It's just, what is this product and, what is it looking forward in the next 10, 15 years? Because it's just continuously and continuously just kind of, and I hate to say the word softer, these are grown men out here playing, but it's just I feel like there's no scar tissue mentally built up, physically and mentally, on some of these quarterbacks. And I'll just take that off the line. Thanks, guys, and have a happy Turkey.
Okay, thanks, Eric.
I was confused.
I don't know. I would just say I saw the Mac Wilson fine from last week, which was like
how far do you go in the name of safety?
But he said, like, Josh Allen got fined for pointing at a guy. How soft are we? And then he was like, how much more are we going to protect the quarterbacks? Like, I didn't think those two things were the same.
No, I think he's lumping everything together
There's going to be injuries. And now they're talking about banning the hip drop tackle, which is honestly that's a fabrication. Like the whole hip drop tackle thing is like a Twitter creation.
Is that like a hockey check?
It's when so basically the thing is the NFL they wanted people to get the head out of the tackle, right? So they taught people to wrap and then like wrap and roll. That's like the kind of the catchphrase. So if you're asking people to grab onto guys and then like roll down to like bring them down,
but not on their legs,
isn't that just naturally dropping your hips? So like it's
ridiculous.
I don't know how you legislated it this way. Like this is what you asked for, and now you're mad.
And by the way, some of the adjustments that the league made, we always criticize the league. Some of the things that they did to try to do their best to get the head out was smart.
Yeah,
they did. I think they have helped a little bit with player safety, but I agree 1,000% with Evan, and I threw a rant about it in the notes this week. I think back to like the Seattle videos that Pete Carroll was credited with the rugby style tackle. That's what this is. Yeah. It's more or less the hip drop tackle. Now they used to show videos with the head to the side, you're hitting with your shoulder as the lead contact in the midsection, and you're rolling to get the guy onto the ground. You can't grab him by the back. That's a horse collar. You can't hit him in the head.
Right.
That's obvious.
Yeah.
The players themselves don't like hitting or getting hit in the knees.
Right.
For obvious reasons. Where else are you supposed to go if you're a defensive
especially
player?
if you're trailing like Logan Wilson was on Mark Andrews? If you the roll tackle,
the Adam Vinatieri tackle of Herschel Walker would have been under question.
The roll tackle works if you're head on, right? If you're coming downhill at a player and tackling him. But Logan Wilson was behind Mark Andrews and is chasing him, so he grabs onto him and then sits down in his chair and drops his hips, and he ends up falling on Mark Andrews' ankle. And that's like what everybody's all up in arms about. But they don't want guys falling backwards, and it's like, how
they somehow don't want guys to get tackled.
Yeah.
And I get it. These injuries stink. It's the number one takeaway for me from watching the whole weekend slate of games is how many really important guys to teams are lost either for the season or for significant chunks. It stinks. I get it. But it's life. It happens every year, and it's going to continue to happen unless you make it flag football, which I think is coming.
I mean, I've been kind of overwhelmed by the amount
to the
of
Olympics,
fines
by the way.
On Twitter. Twitter, you see
real.
every Monday, it's all these fines come out, and I mean, Josh Jacobs is 8-9 times for lowering his head into the
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the fines. I have a problem with banning. Yeah, thank you, guy.
Can we clip that?
Yes. I have a problem with the ban.
What are you going to drink after lunch?
Why don't you shut up? That was uncalled for. I'm sorry.
No, that's a good response. That's what I would say.
It's got a little hat.
Shut the F up. All right. Lots more to do. Paul's Food's here in half a gallon of Pepsi.
Two
That's
liters.
Fred's.
Actually.
This is Fred's right here. See?
Yeah. All right. We'll be right back after this.
Get in on the action with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the New England Patriots. New customers can download the DraftKings app now and play free for millions in prizes using code PATS. That's code PATS only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
iPhone 15 Pro on Verizon. This holiday, trade in any iPhone in any condition for the new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium, Apple TV 4K, and 6 months of Apple One. All on us with Unlimited Ultimate. Go to your local Verizon store now. 6 months of Apple One, then $10 per month. $999.99 device payment or full retail purchase with new smartphone line on Unlimited Ultimate plan required. Less $1,000 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. 0% APR. Apple TV 4K and Apple One offers require eligible phone purchase with activation on Unlimited Ultimate. Additional terms and conditions apply. Visit Verizon.com for details.
And we are back after, was it 3 week? 2 week hiatus. I'll say 2 weeks.
Yes.
Been around the world. Faith Royale, Matisse Bauman here for the PU halftime show. The return. We took a little German hiatus. Then it was the bye week, so we had to recharge a little. I'm gonna open up with some trivia.
As always.
Yep. Don't answer it. And we'll
won't.
go from there. All right. Question 1. And I don't know. This might be for a T-shirt, a poster. I don't know. We'll see what
Something
happens.
good.
You're going to get something. So, question 1. Who recovered the butt fumble and scored the touchdown?
A classic.
All right. Question 2. What year did the Lions first play on Thanksgiving?
Good question.
Question 3. How many times have the Patriots hosted a Thanksgiving game?
Oh.
Yep. And, Faith, that is pretty much the topic of the day.
Happy
'cause
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving is this week. This is going to go Wednesday.
Yeah.
So a little early, but happy Thanksgiving. So we're going to do something a little different because the schedule's a little different this year.
Yes.
We are going to discuss the 3 Thanksgiving games, which are, Faith, read them to me.
We've got Packers Lions at 12:30, Commanders Cowboys at 4:30, and 49ers Seahawks at 8:20.
And then what we're really going to deep dive into is the first ever Black Friday game.
Yes.
Which is
Dolphins Jets
Yep.
at 3 p.m.
Is that at Jets?
It is at Jets.
At
yes.
Jets. All right. So let's start with the Thanksgiving games.
All right.
And Faith, I have some years on you, and
Just a few.
this is the first Thanksgiving game I'm excited for because for my 30 years of existence, the Lions have been awful to watch on Thanksgiving.
It's always miserable.
It's been miserable. It's not fun, and I just feel bad for them. And I'm excited. They are a good team.
They're 8-2.
They are 8-2. They just had a crazy divisional game against the Bears, and where they came back. And for the past, God knows how many years, the Lions lose that game 10 out of 10 times.
And now they're favored by 7.5
Favored by
points.
7. Yep. And they're a good team.
Mm-hmm.
And the Packers are figuring out life post Aaron Rodgers.
Seems relatable.
And of course, now that I'm saying this, it's going to be an absolute stinker, like 14-10. But I think we got some magic here.
I think so.
I think that defense is legit. They have a running back room that's crazy right now, and I think the Lions are going to do it. They're going to win, and they might be a sneaky Super Bowl pick for me.
Oh wow, we are all.
Oh
in
yeah,
on the
I'm drinking the
Lions.
Lions Kool-Aid.
You have drank the Kool-Aid. No, but I think it's going to be a great game, and I mean, I hope it's a high-scoring matchup. I know, Ford Field, that's going to be rocking to host that game.
They deserve it.
Like that. It's going to, and just to be excited about their team this year, top of the the NFC North. I think that's just going to be an exciting
So
matchup.
do you have the Lions winning?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Lions winning.
I'm not crazy. I have the Lions
So
winning.
guys, we're not going to do score predictions for this. We're going to go a bit into the Black Friday game because that's the main topic. So let's touch on the second game, which is usually when the turkey hits the table. We
True.
got Commanders at Dallas.
Yes.
And Dallas has been under the radar.
I mean, they're 7-3. Commanders are 4-7.
And they have that cornerback Bland who's scoring more touchdowns than half the receivers in the league.
Yes.
Pick sixes. Washington, it's interesting because they kind of did a fire sale on trade deadline day, but they just show up in these divisional games. I mean, even if they lose, it's an entertaining
I think it's going to
game.
be a close game. Like you said, usually the food's hitting the table, so we'll see how much of this we actually get to watch. But I think it'll be close. The divisional games are always tight, but I think Dak's really trying to prove himself this year, especially after just like all of the pressure and hate that he's gotten over the past few years. So I think it's going to be competitive, but I don't see the Cowboys not winning.
I see the Cowboys winning, and we're looking ahead because we're at the point now when you get to the commercial break, it has the in the hunt graphic and the playoff picture.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs, but they're probably
Yeah.
just going to lose the first round. So then we got the night game. This is
Yes.
this is the food coma game.
Yep,
And
this isn't the game where you're kind of in and out of sleep, you're kind of dozing off a little bit more.
We got 49ers at Seattle.
This is going to be I'm honestly most excited for this game because of how close the teams' records are. You've got 7-3 49ers, the 6-4 Seahawks. Like, I just see this being a very close matchup.
And so it's interesting because I actually watched most of that Seattle game, and I mean they lost a gimme field goal, and they probably should have just won. But I think the 49ers just got through the hump they were in, and I think they're full go.
They are, and so I feel like this is a huge test for the Seahawks. Obviously, I feel like they've been trying to prove themselves all year, but I mean they're 6-4, like they're right there, and
I think if Seattle wins, it's just that home field advantage. But I do
field.
think the 49ers pulled off which makes it interesting because we could tie back to the first game. We got some home field advantage situations with the Lions and the 49ers. So
we're picking the home team. Are you picking the Seahawks?
I'm picking the 49ers to win that one.
Okay.
But if the Seahawks win,
way.
it's because of the home field advantage.
That's fair.
So
it's not like the 49ers have to travel that far, though.
Yeah, and that's the divisional game, but I think Purdy's got it on lock. They're healthy again. They got
Debo's
Chase
back.
Young, Debo, Bosa.
Watching Chase Young and Nick Bosa round the corner on quarterbacks, that's got to be horrifying.
All right, so I was given the good to go, but you know what? I really want to touch on the Black Friday game real quick. Yep. So we got Miami at New York. Obviously, Miami's going to win this.
Yeah.
But the talk of this game isn't the game itself. It's New York made the quarterback change.
Bye-bye,
They did
Zach
it, and
Wilson.
they put Zach at third string.
Mm-hmm.
I think they get blown out. Tim Boyle, he's not an NFL quarterback. I saw something that he's just an Aaron Rodgers buddy.
Yeah.
And it's
he's the only quarterback though to beat the Eagles, or beat Jalen Hurts and the Eagles.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think that's a blowout.
Yeah.
I think Miami's just gotta stay healthy.
Yes.
I'll say for that one, Miami wins like 34-10.
We love a good AFC East matchup on
Love
Black
it.
Friday.
If you're Miami, get out of that MetLife turf, get the win, and
get out, stay healthy.
Shout out to the league because I'll never complain about more football. So football on a Friday,
True.
It's a pretty chill day. You can drown your shopping pain.
Yep.
If you gamble, you can gamble your money to go spend stuff on Black Friday.
Any Black Friday deals for gambling?
Right. So Faith, who do you have on that? Miami too?
Oh yeah. Miami.
Perfect. All right, guys, send your trivia answers into webradio@patriots.com and have a great Thanksgiving. We'll be back next week with more For You Halftime Show.
When someone accidentally threw away the school play costumes,
oh no.
Replacements were shipped with FedEx. And with picture proof of delivery, everyone could focus on the perfect opening night. FedEx, where now meets next. For residential delivery only.
And now, great moments in history.
Oh yeah, there's turkeys everywhere.
They have them in the hills of North Providence.
They do.
Evidently.
You can't find a turkey. You're not a good hunter. You need to stop.
Oh yeah, they're all over the place.
And I would assume they're pretty easy to shoot, right?
Yeah, they're huge. Now, maybe it's all feathers and you miss, and you got to hit, center of mass.
Some of them go on the offensive, though.
Oh yeah, they mark you.
Yeah, and they attack.
I could see you being made a turkey's bitch.
Oh.
And they peck at your heels.
Now that would be a great story if you were,
It would be an ironic story.
Wedded by a turkey.
Wedded by a turkey.
Yeah, actually, you were forced to become the mate of a turkey.
The Revenant.
That thing we were doing the other day. Eric would be penetrated by a turkey.
That's another great moment from
Hey, Bridgestone is the official tire of the New England Patriots. Visit sullivantire.com for a location near you. Who wrote this? They edited out everything, and now it doesn't make sense. But Bridgestone is the official tire of the New England Patriots, and you can get them at Sullivan Tire. So visit sullivantire.com for a location near you.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know who's their copywriter. But also, this November, every Friday is like Black Friday at Bob's Discount Furniture, and that means you get surprising unlocks every Friday of the month on top of Bob's everyday low prices. Shop Bob's Black Friday unlocks in-store or online. Bob's Discount Furniture, the official furniture store of the New England Patriots.
Patriots Unfiltered.
Halftime show within a show. We had some trivia.
Oh.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, first one. Who recovered the butt fumble and scored the touchdown?
Steve Gregory.
Yep.
Ooh, good one.
Ryan Dobson got that one right. What year did the Lions first play on Thanksgiving?
1964.
Wrong.
No.
Not even close.
No.
45.
No. Earlier.
Oh.
34.
34.
Yeah.
What was it like back then?
Oh, he's looking at Paul when he says it.
5 years younger than me. So.
How many times have the Patriots hosted a Thanksgiving game?
0.
Correct.
That would have been my guess, but I thought.
And no one got it.
I thought it was a trick
Really?
question.
Yeah. No one got it. So.
How many times have they played on Thanksgiving?
Ooh.
4 times, right?
4 times?
I don't know.
Remember
guessing.
Detroit?
I don't have the answer.
That's right off
Last
the top
year,
of my head.
Minnesota.
Yeah. Twice Detroit, right?
Twice Detroit.
More than twice.
I know, yeah, because 2000 they played in Detroit.
5, according to Matt Morrell.
5 times. Okay.
5.
2000,
you can't trust them.
2002, and then like 2000.
You know, we talk about
12
depressing games. Now that I think about it, that 2000 game in Detroit on Thanksgiving
that was
one of the most depressing games. It was like
season like this.
I'm
right?
missing Thanksgiving for this.
They lost the game like 34-9.
Yeah.
Take the like out. It was 34-9.
Yeah.
And I really feel like the Patriots outplayed them the whole game. They just kept marching the ball up and down the field, and Drew would throw a pick or something would happen, and
it was awful.
Before you knew it, they were getting killed.
You know, at least last year,
Brady got his first.
You know, it was a
ever
competitive
completion in
game.
that
You know,
I mean, last year wasn't so bad because it was end of Thanksgiving.
last year was an entertaining
Yeah.
game, but it still, kind of stinks to miss holidays.
Sure.
I got my turkey in.
All right, let's keep going here. Paul's done. So Mark's in Connecticut.
Why
What's
do you
up,
have to be
Mark?
so mean.
Mark's
you
gone.
deserve that.
Dang
Yep.
it, Mark.
Line down. Let's go to line down. No, that means that's line 3. Eldridge is in North Carolina doing double duty. I heard you calling in on Catch 22, Eldridge.
Bones to pick.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
Yeah, you were
I
given
hope y'all
praise
have
for
a
your
good
call. They loved your call.
Do you have to talk to your boo?
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, Fred. Paul, don't give me that. I'm just joking. All right. But I got a.
I was just jealous.
And I was just jealous. Paul, you know my favorite too. You and Fred for years, 15 years, been arguing with y'all and stuff. Lately, we've been agreeing, which I don't like. I'd rather argue with you
I know.
than anybody else. So
Paul just walked out. He's not even listening.
Nothing brings people together than failure. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but two scenarios. Evan, I would love to get Harrison, but I got to feel Chicago going to pick him to help Justin Fields out. And the other scenario, what if they keep everything intact and build trade down? How would y'all feel to get more picks? And I take it off the air.
From where? Trade down from where, Eldred? What number?
From 3.
3.
From 3.
I don't think I'd like
3.
that.
All right, 3.
I don't think I'd like it. But
4 or 5, I could make an argument for it. Because now the tackle might be the best player on the board.
And you don't want it.
I don't want that.
Yeah. I mean, it's on one hand, yeah, I just have to admit that they got a lot of holes to fill. And so, I mean, I think I need to see what it looked like. I mean, if you were to trade down from, like 4 to 8 and you pick up another,
I don't want to go
like,
from 4 to like second round.
No.
Yeah.
But I think that there's an argument to be made if you still are picking high enough that you can get impact players. I mean, that's what I think they need. They need impact players. They don't need 27 third-round picks where they're going to take flyers.
Stockpile picks in the top 50.
Yeah.
I don't need 12 draft picks if, like last year, they're all going to be in the 7th round, 6th round, whatever. I'd want, I don't need to have, like, extra picks. I just need higher picks.
What would the return be to go from 3 to 8, though?
Oh, I don't know.
Like, I mean, do you get a first next
I'd have
year?
to look at the chart. No, you could get, you get something like that, or you could get, you switch spots. Someone gives you a 2, or maybe they have 2 first round. Like there's a lot of different things.
3 feels like a sweet spot, though. I mean, at least at this point, and I think everything changes too. Like once we get into the draft, certain things are going to happen.
Yeah,
The guys are going to emerge.
3 is you're going to get at least one of the 2 quarterbacks or Harrison.
Yeah, which I think,
you can dangle that carrot for another team.
Which I
that
think
might
you
want
could
it.
definitely talk yourself into. Like if it was Harrison and then you find a way to get, one of the lower rated quarterbacks later, like Jaden Daniels, you could talk yourself into that.
Yeah.
This just to me, like with the tackle thing, and I understand like you need help on your offensive line. I'm not blind to that. They need to improve the offensive line, but there's been a lot of first round tackles in the last 3 or 4 years that have just been terrible. And I just feel like no one really thinks of that as a franchise crippling draft pick for some reason, when I think it kills you to have like an Evan Neal in the first round. The Giants, right? Aren't both of their guys?
I think so.
About both of their tackles? Yeah, Andrew Thomas was a first round pick too, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't think either one of those guys has panned out. It's a terrible offensive line. What's holding the Giants back?
Quarterback.
But the quarterback who runs for his life every game too, right? No. Now, I don't think Daniel Jones is great. I think he's part of the problem. I think if you had a good quarterback, maybe these guys would be okay. But my point is, who's like after Evan Neal and Andrew Thomas? Isaiah Wynn, and there's a lot of first round tackles that have been taken that have been just meh.
Well,
like
Becton.
Mekhi Becton's another one. Yeah, he's been hurt constantly. He's been decent this year, but again, part of the worst offensive line. Did you happen to see that some of the rankings have the Patriots at like 21?
That's pretty good. I'm only kidding.
Another indictment of the quarterback.
Yeah. Vishon writes in at webradio@patriots.com. He's in New York. If there's any franchise in the history of sports that deserves to tank, it's the Patriots. I'd go as far to say that it would be irresponsible to win this game Sunday. I honestly think Robert Kraft should implore Bill to lose. What are your thoughts? I disagree.
I would really like to just hear Paul lay out a perfect scenario of how they win this game, because I feel like Paul will lay out exactly how it will happen. Of special, I don't know. I don't want to put words in your mouth though, because I don't want to say, I mean, there haven't been any special team scores. There haven't been any defensive scores.
Well, how the Patriots will win this game,
right? Like I feel like you got a beat on how it's going to unfold.
I think that if the Patriots win this game, it's going to be one of those days where they create the turnovers and they lead to points. Yeah. And I think that's been what's happening to the Giants. Like, our producer Don does our TV show, Freddie, Don Maxon.
Yep.
He's a Giants guy. He likes the Giants, and he's been talking about it for the last couple of weeks. Like, their defense is pretty good. It's not like Cleveland good, but it's pretty good, and it's made to look horrible because the offense just does so little to help them.
So won't it be funny if, the game obviously is at MetLife, if Patriots do something great, a lot of cheers. Giants do something great, a lot of cheers. But the opposite team's fans cheering, but you won't know.
It's a tank.
It'll be interesting to see
you won't know
how many Patriots fans are at this game, because the Patriots fans have generally traveled pretty well, no matter where they are.
Yep.
I'd be curious to see what kind of support.
I'd be
they have
more
in the
curious
Meadowlands.
if it was at home, like what the response is like from the crowd here.
But I'm sure Giants fans want to tank just as much as Patriots fans, don't you think?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know.
So getting back to Eldred's little draft thing, these kinds of things, I don't know why they interest me so much. But like, do you think that they would take a quarterback, or do you think they would roll the dice and go with Fields again?
Oh, Chicago, you mean?
Yeah.
I think that if they have the top, they'll take a quarterback.
I do
yes.
too.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
new coach.
I don't think they'll pass on a quarterback. And you could keep Fields and take a quarterback, and then roll the dice with Fields, and then that way you kind of put yourself in a position of power. If it works, and you want to go forward with Fields, then you can trade. You can trade your other guy. It's not costing you a tremendous amount. It's not an overly expensive backup. Or if Fields doesn't work out, nothing lost, and you let your rookie sit a while and develop and wait. I don't think it's the worst idea to hold on to both of them.
If there's a new coach, that's what I think. Like, he's going to want to put his stamp on it. He's going to want his guy. But it's appealing to me in a similar way of just like hanging on to Mac is, just a
It'd be a tremendous roll of the dice to just hang on to Fields and not take a quarterback.
If a team drafts a guy and he says, I'm not going there, I'm going back to college, is there any compensation for that team, or do they just lose the pick?
I don't know.
I'm not going there, I'm going back to college. You can't do that.
You can't do that?
No, once you're in the draft, you can't do that.
Oh, okay.
Once you hire an agent, is that
still
part
you
of
can
it?
hire an agent and go back, but once you declare for the draft and it's final, that's it.
No, you just can't leave.
Okay.
Like, if you don't get drafted, you don't get to go back to college.
Okay.
That happens to a lot of guys.
Oh, I know, yeah. Okay.
But there is a deadline. I don't have it in front of me. I mean, there are specific dates and times when you can. It happens more in basketball where guys declare, but maybe they won't talk to an agent, and they can pull back before the deadline. They kind of test the waters and see what kind of interest there is, and
NIL money.
I mean, let's face it; it's becoming more and more cloudy by the year with all the NIL. It's pretty soon it's just going to be those power schools off by themselves, and they'll leave the NCAA behind.
Will writes in, Paul, you stated earlier that if Garrett
Wilson... That was probably wrong.
if Garrett Wilson was on the Patriots this year, Mac would be better. If we can get Marvin Harrison Jr. in the draft, can you envision a world where that gives Mac another life at starting quarterback? I hope not, but I can see the debate being made.
Yeah. I think that's true. I think Marvin Harrison would help, but don't mistake me saying that I think he'd be better for being me thinking that he's good. Because I've kind of come
4-6,
but he'd be better.
Yeah, I think he would be better. I think the better. This is about the whole team, not just Mac Jones.
Yeah.
I've never said that this roster is loaded and they should be winning, but the quarterback is killing them.
He also says, why do people give Mac Jones more free passes, I guess, compared to Zach Wilson? Well, he's not as bad as Zach Wilson. No, he's not.
That's really close, Fred.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. I mean, you can pretend it's not because
I'm not
you think
pretending.
because he's a punching bag and your guy is like, had success the first 8 games of his career, none since. But it's not really that different. It's not that different.
I think that last pick Mac threw was very Zach Wilson-y. I mean, Zach Wilson, what we've seen from Zach Wilson, like with some of those games, I don't think Mac's had as many of those, like 4 turnovers, like what are you doing games, but this last game was.
Do you remember the amount of times like Zach Wilson would sort of like buy time in the pocket, roll toward the sideline, and instead of throwing it away, he throws it
to
back.
Devin McCourty.
That's the throwback across the field that Mac
Right.
Jones has made 5 times in the last 2 years. Like, it's not that different. Do I think he's better? Yes. By this much. Yeah. They're not very different.
I feel like Mac is getting closer to Zach Wilson.
And I will say this
week.
in Mac's defense, I don't think Mac Wilson has the amount of talent around him that Zach Wilson does.
Yeah.
Mac Wilson?
Nathan.
I mean, Mac Jones.
Nathan is from Brookline. He says, I love listening to the show. I try to listen to every episode, but I can't listen to them live because I'm in school. I'm in 7th grade. My question is, if you were in Bill Belichick's position, what moves would you make? Who would you like to see more of against the Giants? I would like to see more Marty Mapu and give Tyquan Thornton at least one more chance. P.S. Today is an early release day. I'm not skipping school.
Nice.
Yeah, Mapu was a guy that I picked for your roundtable. I think you asked that question.
Yeah, which one player? Like to
one
see
player, but with a caveat of I want to see him play linebacker. I don't want to see him play safety.
Yeah, I had Keon White on more downs.
Yeah.
Yeah, good one. Another good one.
I think Thornton's a good one too. And I feel like you're kind of hoping against all odds with him right now. But
I'm almost to the point where I've seen enough.
Yeah.
Of who?
Thornton.
It's interesting. He's seen enough of Thornton, but he wants to trot Mac back out there and just tell him this is the last chance.
Different.
I mean it this time.
One of Mac's problems is Tyquan Thornton.
There you go.
It's unbelievable. Like the emailer is right. It just at some point it's on you. Some point your performance is on you.
I know, but if you could shore up these other things, would be better.
He still wouldn't be good enough.
I think something else that doesn't get said about the quarterback position is that it's more than just his performance too. It's just an overall confidence of the team. Like there's just so much that goes in. That position has just so much more impact than, you talk about, pass protection. Like the quarterback is who the team is. A lot of that's your identity. Like, it's everybody's got to get behind him and pull and not right now.
Can I ask a question for you, Fred, about the round table?
Yeah.
Mike's little bonus question that's always,
Yep.
zany, offbeat Mike
Was it
Dusolish.
zany?
Yeah.
What was your answer, Mike? How did you put it? What's your
favorite thing about New York? I wanted it intentionally.
You show me yours first.
I wrote. How did I put it? There's a lot of great stuff in New York. Too bad the Giants play in Jersey, because I figured that's what Fred would say.
No.
And then I said, and you're gonna make fun of me, but like there's nothing like seeing a show on Broadway.
Yeah.
Oh, you do a lot of that?
I did.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. I can see Paul like with his scarf and his
no scarf.
Playbill.
Generally dressed exactly the way I am right now.
Walking stick.
Monocle.
Yeah. No, my answer to
I'm man enough to know that Fred was going to make fun of me, and I said it anyway.
Yeah.
You walked right in.
My favorite thing about New York was sauerkraut on hot dogs.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought for sure
didn't
you'd
see
have
that
a.
There's nothing.
No, I was waiting for a snarky.
There's
New
nothing
York
like a
comment.
good street hot dog in New York with sauerkraut and mustard.
I think that is a very underrated part of New York. Just that ability to just get a hot dog. Like you just walk
those
2 blocks,
dogs,
boom, get a hot dog.
Those dogs sit in that water all day, and it just
And it's
soaks
just
it
something
all
about
in.
it. It's great. And
Yeah.
I got to tell you, we were there, and I think Will must have gotten like 3 one afternoon. It's like, those are so good. Can I get another one? Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
hot dogs.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. And then the second thing would be leaving New York. Is my favorite thing. No, Alex writes in.
Oh, and the bars. Didn't I say something about the bars
bars?
staying open? I don't think I said the
You
bars.
like that?
I didn't review them. I only got yours 2 back. I didn't have a chance yet to review them, but I'll take your.
He didn't proofread them yet.
Yeah, I left out a W for Will. I just if you could correct that.
Okay.
Yeah. Happy
You're putting me
Thanks-
in your will?
Yeah.
He's intentionally making typos to keep you on your toes.
Happy Thanksgiving from Alex in the car from Raleigh to Pawtucket. I think Max should be sat for the rest
Raleigh
of
to
the season.
Pawtucket.
I've written and often to say, I've never been a Mac guy. When we drafted him, I said he wasn't the guy. I don't think Zappe is the guy, but Mac just looks broken, and I don't think playing him will fix anything. He makes the same mistakes, so why is the team giving into the insanity of starting him? I hope the Patriots win, or my wife will have a fun Sunday with Giants pride.
Oh, I mean, I think we all agree. It's just we just want to get a look at something different, and I don't know. I mean, to Evan's point, this doesn't seem like the game where Mac's going to get right. You know, maybe you feel like a little bit more optimistic if it was they just rush 2, 3, or 4 guys. They play a lot of zone. It kind of feeds into what the Patriots want to do. And I mean, the interesting thing though is we get these next gen stat things. The Giants are second in blitz rate, but they're 29th in pressure rate. There's kind of an interesting little disparity between. They send a lot of guys a lot, but get a ton of pressure, at least as far as
they only have like
what
19 sacks, right?
Yeah, and I mean, by contrast, the Patriots are eighth for blitz rate and 23rd for pressure rate. So it's still not great, but not the disparity of second to 29th.
Yeah.
Stats.
Huh.
Interesting.
So let's take it a step further.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to look at something right now.
Oh, complimentary.
Let's see. Opponents have attempted 352 passes against the Patriots and 371 against the Giants. So that would make it even worse for the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
About half a game's worth of passes.
But even less pressure is my point.
Brandon writes in, I think Mike Evans is a perfect example of talented team in other parts, but he needed the right quarterback. And in his case, he was a 40-plus-year-old future Hall of Famer who helped raise the talent to a championship level, I guess.
Mike Evans is a terrific player.
Yeah. He's still doing well.
Yeah, he's still doing well now.
Right.
Did good with Jameis.
Like, the team wasn't good enough to win the Super Bowl, but that had nothing to do with Mike Evans.
I've been doing that a lot, though. I've been like thinking of all-time talented receivers that never were on good teams, or all-time talented tackles that were never on good teams, and like you can find a lot. You can't find all-time.
There's a ton of tackles that you could do that.
All-time
with.
talented
Joe
quarterbacks.
Thomas.
Joe Thomas was one I thought of, but like Megatron. I mean, no offense to Stafford.
No, absolutely. Megatron would be.
Julio
one of
Jones
those
came
guys.
on later, but
yeah. Now, in terms of like
AJ
winning titles, if you that's the Felger and Maz thing. You're nothing if you didn't win the title.
Marino.
There's a lot of really good players that were on good teams that won plenty of games, but like Joe Thomas was never even on a good team.
Yeah.
To me, Julio Jones, good teams. They just never won it all.
But there's no quarterbacks like that. Like I don't think you could say there's a really talented quarterback that, I mean, of course, didn't win a
Jim
Super
Kelly.
Bowl, but didn't
No, but
just
again,
didn't win. Never
they
played
won.
in playoffs.
They won, but
yeah,
it would be like if Justin Herbert plays his whole career.
It never gets past the divisional round.
And the record stays the way it is now. It's like 500.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would be kind of an abnormally.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Anomaly.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sergio in
Words are very
California
hard.
says
I need more Pepsi.
He says start all 4. If it was me personally, I'd do a platoon situation for comedy.
Stop it.
Mac would play the first quarter, Zappe the second quarter, Will Greer third, and have Cunningham close it out.
We'd have the Benny Hill music playing the whole time.
Yeah.
Can I just tell you that would be unbelievably fascinating?
Yeah.
Be different.
It's preseason. It's basically what it would be.
They'd be treated like a preseason game.
They'd have to get you on the broadcast, Paul.
Oh, and the
Bob's
Bob's
Furniture.
concern?
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
That's right, Zoe.
Line down's been waiting for a while. Let's go to Trey in Florida. What's up, Trey? Oh,
Trey.
Trey's line is down.
Come
Let's
on,
go
Trey.
to Mark and Everett. What's up,
Marky.
Mark?
Happy Thanksgiving to the world's greatest and the first podcast. Right. You guys are the best. I want to say Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Okay, so on the Bill thing, he's 72. I hope we don't beat him up too much. He is the best of all times. And what do you think about a third-year jinx and Mac just is going through that sophomore jinx and we just hang on to him for one more year and give him the big bucks?
I don't know. It's hard to make the case for that.
Is that happening at all?
Yeah.
Of him being the quarterback next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a chance of that.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep. I think there's a chance that he could be the quarterback in 24. Yes. A chance.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like if they don't get in a position to get one of the quarterbacks, what's your alternative? You got to have a season, right?
I agree. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
All right, thanks, Mark.
Ironically, I don't think we agree.
Yeah.
Like that to me would be the worst case scenario.
But
Is I
it's-
can't find anybody else, and I
it's
have
possible.
to run it back.
It's possible.
Jeff in Brooklyn about the Purdy versus Mac comparison. You know that Mac has wide open people too, and he doesn't throw to them. Also,
Or he misses them, like he did in Indy.
Also, Purdy's mechanics are very good and above all consistent. He has very compact, consistent motion. Other things Mac can't do.
Yeah, Evan's not here to defend himself, so I won't belabor the point. But I don't pretend. I don't watch every Niners game, but when I see them, I don't see great protection. I don't see a great offensive line with pass protection and whatnot. And he moves around, slides around, changes arm angles, and
Yeah.
I think he's had more to do with that success of the offense than Evan gives it credit for.
Yeah,
now, am I telling you that no one else could do that? No, I'm not saying that. I'm telling you I don't think it would look anywhere near that good with Mac Jones, just like it didn't look that good with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right. Mitch in Albany, I saw a stat recently that Matt Judon still leads the Patriots in sacks. I know the
believe
defense
that's
has been
correct.
pretty solid overall, but why have they not been able to get after the quarterback? Did Uche just have a great stretch last season and we'll never see that again? I thought he would be at least decent. Also, where has Keon White been?
Yeah, that's. I mean, I know it's been going around with Uche. People have been talking. Well, the metrics still look okay with pressure and things like that. Steve Belichick said earlier this week that he would generally agree with that. I think it's about finishing right now, and that's what they don't have. They don't have the finishers. Barmore gets pressure, and he certainly has finished some. But you just look at Gardner Minshew. He's contained in the pocket. He's running
That's a great
around.
example.
It's just nobody can get through a block and get to the quarterback and take him down. And I mean, Judon is still the leading sacker on. Is that a word, sacker?
Yeah.
The leading sack man on the team. Like it's just that to me. You can talk, and I know sacks is an overrated stat. But right now, I do think it's telling that they can't finish.
If we were just
the
talking
quarterback.
about sacks, I would totally agree that the metrics are probably similar. But I think Mike bringing up that Colts game is relevant because, yeah, they got some pressure and that's putting check marks in those boxes for the metrics. But you're allowing plays.
Yeah.
When you get pressure and the ball has to come out quick and it's an incomplete pass, that's where the sack is misleading. They haven't had a lot of that. I don't think. I think for the most part, when they've had pressure. I thought Sam Howell did the same thing to them in that game. He was able to get out of the pocket, move around, find a guy, and make a play.
Yeah.
Jack in Ann Arbor says, by mentioning Fred in his wrestling singlet, you have just ruined my Thanksgiving weekend. That is an image that I cannot unsee, even if it's only in my mind's eye. Now it will be a week before I can get a good night's sleep.
Well, at least it's Thanksgiving, and no one really likes that food anyway.
I was cut back then, let me tell you.
I was cut.
Apparently my wife still thinks you're cut, Fred. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what she's looking at.
Let's see. Tony writes in, longtime
Heck of a piece
listener,
of dough.
first-time emailer after meeting you all at Gibson's.
Gibson's.
Yeah.
We actually set off a day earlier once we'd seen you that you were broadcasting live on that Friday. Oh, they came just to see us. Not a great game, as we know, but still fantastic to see the Patriots live. We'll be over to Foxborough next season, I hope. On the Germany postgame show, Paul said he didn't think an international franchise would work and that events such as the Frankfurt game are only likely to work as a big occasion, a bit like U.S. interest in the World Cup. I'm paraphrasing a bit here.
That's pretty close.
Yeah,
I think that pretty much relays what I said.
Forgetting the whole logistics issue for a minute of flying teams back and forth across the Atlantic, I have to disagree. I think it could work, but only if the teams were located in the right cities. Tickets, it goes on and on. I didn't think this was that long.
No, but I'd be curious from a perspective on the other side. Yeah, I'm kind of interested in that.
No, I think that
if you could summarize.
Yeah, I think one international franchise can't work. I think if you're going to do that, you need to create a division in Europe where they play amongst themselves and then they come over for a month and play games here. So I think
I don't think that works.
No.
I don't. What I was getting at, and maybe I'm wrong, and he had the information there to explain why I'm wrong, is that I feel like those games are big-time special events, and they are treated as such. Whereas if you just played a game every week over there, and you had to, you force feed, the Rhine Fire is their team, I'm not sure that you have that same interest level over there to support it. And he's right. the reason it can't work is logistics. Like, so you're gonna have them spend a month in the U.S. and play like a month of road games, and like that's not fair. Like that's not the best way to have an equitable league. I just don't think that makes a lot of sense. And I compared it to the World Cup, Freddie.
Yeah.
The World Cup here, when the U.S. hosts the World Cup, it's enormous.
Yeah.
And we largely don't care the other 3.5 years. It just.
Well, if the U.S. team did a little better, we might. That year that they did well, I mean,
but I think the World Cup itself is wildly popular because it's a major event.
Yeah.
And we will go crazy over that event.
Right.
But I don't think they're necessarily crazy about the U.S. playing Portugal in just some regular game.
Yeah.
Whereas in the NFL, there's amazing interest for every game.
Right. And especially over there where you bring out not just Patriot fans, but there were all kinds of fans there. You know what I mean? It's not just an event for one fan group. It's,
right. Now you're telling them all one team is yours.
Right.
And I don't think, I'm interested in the other
it's
side because
it's not
you guys obviously know more.
Yeah,
being
it's
there,
not a full case study, but
no, it's not.
Jacksonville plays 2 games a year in London now, or something like that. At
Right.
least,
They played 2 this year.
Have
yeah.
they gained in UK? I'm talking about. Have they gained hardcore fans?
Yeah, I don't have that answer. I just still think that the London games are very popular because there's 2 or 3 of them. There's like the Mexico City game was very popular. They had one. I think if you had 16 games a year in Frankfurt, I don't think they would be as popular as those 2 games back to back were with Kansas City and New England.
Well, you'd have 8, but anyway.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of fans there. There's no doubt, and they had a huge waiting list. But like Paul said, it's not apples to apples.
And it's very anecdotal. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I was kind of curious to see what someone who's actually in Europe wanted to offer a rebuttal.
Kyle and Kembroke just wanted to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving and thank you for putting on such an amazing show, even in this horrible football season. 2 questions. What's your favorite Thanksgiving side dish? And what's your favorite Thanksgiving football memory?
Oh, boy. I mean, there's a lot of side dishes I like, but part of me feels like it's really just all of it coming together with a little turkey, a little stuffing, a little mashed potatoes, and a little cranberry, and a little gravy on top. And just that bite, that to me is the perfection. I mean,
you like the gobbler, just the sandwich that they make.
Well, sure, yeah, I like that. But I mean, I just the ideal thing is getting that perfect bite. It's not like, oh, great mashed potatoes, like, oh, great stuffing. It's all of it, right?
Yeah. See, I like it individual. I don't like them to touch.
Just have a little. Really, you like that? My sister's like that.
Yeah.
She doesn't want any food to touch on her plate, and everything's divvied up evenly.
I'm more with Fred. Thanksgiving is not in terms of the food is not my. I would say stuffing probably, but.
I like the stuff.
I don't really like.
If
Thanksgiving for me is can't wait till Christmas.
If it's made the way my wife makes it, or Ruth Chris, sweet potato pie is my favorite side dish.
Potato pie.
Oh, with marshmallow and brown sugar. Oh.
Someone talked about that today. Was it Mac or was it Lawrence Guy?
I think Larry Guy.
Larry Guy
I
with
think
the marshmallows.
Yeah, you make it right. It's like dessert. It's so good. Yeah.
We have that this year.
But I do like a good stuffing. I don't like the stuffing that's dry. You ever have like the dry stuffing where you can still see the croutons?
Yeah, stick it in the bird.
I like it when it's
bake
moist and all mushy together, like you could make a snowball out
from
of
the
it.
inside of the
bird.
bird.
Yeah, like it's sticky. It sticks to your ribs. I like that kind of stuffing.
Put a little gravy on it.
A little gravy. Yeah.
I don't know. One memory I used to love going to the high school football game on Holliston Westwood, 10 a.m. Thursday morning. You get out, everybody like the cars are lining the street. I mean, all the alumni come back.
Now Paul, it's the night before Thanksgiving. Paul still goes to the bars.
Oh yeah, see the high school reunion,
glory days.
I haven't done that in years either. But that was
it was fun,
Fred's
especially
not,
right
Fred's
out of
not
college.
Lying. That was a lot of fun.
Right out of college when you come back and everybody's like strutting their stuff.
Yeah, but you know it. Like when you do that, 7, 8, 9, okay. This is the last year we're coming to the pub.
Right.
You know what? We've aged out. We got to get out. We got to go do our own thing somewhere else.
But then you start to get the mix of people who got out of the town and are coming back home. But then you also have people who didn't leave town who are now like the townies.
Right.
And so it's just like we're here every Thursday.
Yeah,
right?
and then there's a fight. There's always a fight from a townie.
From bad blood.
Right.
Somebody
but
hooked up with somebody.
My senior year, my last ever football game was absolutely the Thanksgiving memory.
Did you get that dub?
Yeah, we won 31-0, and it snowed that day. We played really well. It was to the point where all the seniors are basically out of the game at halftime.
It doesn't exist anymore now. That's just the number of games I'm hearing about that are going to be played tomorrow that have no impact, or there's teams that are getting ready to play in the state championship next week, so they're not even going to play their guys.
The vast majority of the games, though, if you have a traditional rivalry, it
means something.
It's still big,
Yeah.
even for the teams that aren't good. Like Malden and Medford really haven't been very good in the GBL. They've played for 120 years.
Yeah.
It's still important to Malden and Medford.
Right.
Salem Beverly this year is going to be different. I think it's the 125th game. But Salem's going to the Super Bowl. They're playing on Wednesday here. So I don't know if that's going to be as big.
KP's playing Franklin at Fenway Park.
They played last night.
Oh, who won?
KP. Yeah, they rolled them.
35-0.
Yeah.
Nice.
Are you a big KP fan?
Oh, my kid went there.
They cheat.
Oh, yeah? So you saw there's no more, that Massachusetts passed the thing, there's no more, Native American mascots, and I'm wondering if King Philip is going to get axed. They're literally called King Philip.
Yeah, it's from King whatever his name was. Yeah.
Kamehameha? No.
No.
Different thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's still a lot. I think it's still the Dartmouth Indians.
Yeah.
And Saugus Sachems. I think there's still a lot of them that still have Native American mascots.
Yeah.
Which I don't really understand why that is such a big thing, but there's a lot of things
I think if
that
it's
go
respectful,
over my, right? It's not. Yeah.
Well, the thing that's crazy to me about King Philip, not to put my little nerdy history hat on, but he literally led a rebellion against all the settlers and massacred people across the Metro West. And you have a high school named after him. It's a complicated situation.
The
but
Battle of Worcester was big. Yeah.
Well, Medfield, him and his guys, they went through Medfield and cleaned that place out. Back in the 1700s. It's just weird now to have a high school named after.
Odd little peek into Hockomock League history right there from Mike.
King Philip. Yeah, he saw what was coming. He was like, "No, we better fight."
So, what do we make of Evan not being back yet?
I think he's walking. They're making him trudge from the.
My guess is they didn't get out there when they were supposed to, right? I don't think he's
I don't know. We got picks.
I don't think he's lazing around.
Call
to get
Bill.
back,
We got
right?
a hurry pill. We got picks.
And then either Alex didn't do well, or there's no way she was coming in the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I thought.
Oh,
of that.
I saw her today.
No,
okay.
she's doing
she's
my
drained
cause
mentally.
Yeah, she's my cause. My cleats hell.
Okay.
So she's doing a lot of stuff. So we'll get her picks from her. But yeah, she's in the weeds right now.
Okay. All right. Well,
because I saw her this morning.
Yeah, she's here.
I'll give Evan a few more minutes to get here. Let's see. Matt writes in.
Oh, here he is.
Panay Sewell is one of the first round that has worked out.
Great one. Yes.
I would be on board with Joe Alt, but we have to make moves during the free agency. Paul, if we get T. Higgins, would you then be okay with tackle with the first pick? So if you shore up the wide,
I would still rather trade down.
Yeah, I don't think T. Higgins. He's good.
Oh no, I love T. Higgins, but I would still rather get a player at that spot. If I'm going to take a player in the top 5, I want more of an impact player. Obviously, Penny Sewell has been a really good player for the Lions. That's a hit. No matter where you picked him, that's a hit.
And just so you know, Evan, we haven't been talking draft the whole time you were gone.
No,
so you didn't miss
couldn't.
anything.
We couldn't do it without you.
Hearing Paul say the words "trade down" is making me quiver.
No, no, stop. Rather than take a tackle, listen
Rather
to the rest of
than
it.
take a tackle,
I don't want to take a tackle.
So Trent Williams has no impact on his team.
See? All right.
See?
Evan.
It's easy, Evan, right?
Not as much of an impact as Evan Neal has had.
Brock Purdy.
All right, Evan, what do we got?
All right, well, that was an adventure. Not that anybody cares.
Yeah,
but
we were worried about
you. Did you guys start sending the search party? Because I was in the elements.
I called
for
in an
us.
APB.
So the Patriots practice in the bubble.
Socios.com.
Thank you. The Socios.com Fieldhouse. I don't want to insult the people at Socios. They had perfect attendance in the bubble there today.
Perfect.
And, it took so long because you have to go around, You have to get in your car, you have to drive around, and then you have to,
wow.
So it was a little bit of an adventure to get there and back, which is what took so long. But, perfect attendance, stretch only. So we didn't really see anything to glean
How
about
did Will
the
Greer
quarterback. He looks good, Mike.
I know.
Good.
I'm telling you.
So stretch only.
Stretch only. I still feel, coming off of 2 practices now, I still feel like the wind is blowing towards Mac Jones starting. I don't know if it's concrete set in stone, and they could obviously change their minds at any time, but it still feels like the illusion that they're giving is that he's going to be the one that's at least going to start this game.
Okay.
But short leash, probably.
That's what I say, short leash.
Yeah.
How about
got the
one other
leash on.
possibility of he's planning on playing more than one quarterback by design?
Possible.
I think that's definitely possible. They did that. I think the Chicago thing was supposed to be
like they claimed in the Chicago.
So
game.
is there any chance that while all you guys were inside the bubble, Will Greer was warming up outside and getting ready for the game?
No, 'cause we saw him.
Okay.
But we also we've seen Trent Brown the last couple days. He has been at practice, moving maybe a little bit better. I don't know. That one is really fascinating to me. Not as much as the quarterbacks, obviously, but is this a guy that you really want to play? Like after what he sounds off and like just I don't know. It's just a lot going on.
I have a
there.
question though. They were in the bubble. There's no lightning today. So usually they don't go in the bubble unless it's like you can't practice in this weather.
It was pretty nasty.
Oh, was it that bad?
Yeah, it's pretty. It was raining sideways. You know, it's like pretty windy.
There's a lot of wind and rain.
Okay.
Yeah, and
all right. Okay.
yeah, it was kind of
okay.
Yeah, you got to be pretty confident that it's not going to be like that on Sunday.
I was just doing conspiracy theory, and it's like, okay, we're trying to get Zappy ready. He's not going to be able to get ready in this weather, so let's go inside and you know, give him a puncher's chance.
Yeah. Well, the best part is when they practice. This is very inside baseball, but they make us like turn our backs to the glass.
Evan's got this mirror. He's got a mirror. He's
So
like, you know.
so Rundy is standing with me and we're chatting and he's got a camera and the camera is pointing in the wrong direction, but it obviously had the cap on and like it wasn't on, right? And Gerard Mayo just goes, "Oh, you taking pictures of people coming out of the bathroom, like joking with them,
right.
and like obviously the camera's not on, and I'm just standing there. I'm like, oh, we should have stood someplace else, like,
up against the wall. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
turn around.
The next thing you know, they'll have like sacks over your head. You know, okay, sacks on. Sacks on, and then Aaron will come over. Okay, sacks off.
It's like a line of
guys. That's our time. That's our time.
Line of hostages.
But it's funny because like then they walk us out, right? And it's a much longer walk to the door than it is outside where the stairs are.
No looking.
And so then you're just like, you know.
Oh my god.
The curtain. They got to put a curtain.
Meanwhile, the
on.
49ers are like, yeah, come watch practice. Yeah, you know.
Try to stop it. I have Trent Williams. Try to stop it.
Yeah, right.
Did you see their offense without Trent Williams? Terrible.
That's right.
But quarterback's going to win MVP.
Pretty significant sample size.
All right, Paul, what happened? We got to hurry. What happened last week?
Yeah, it was Alex and Evan, 10-4.
Oh.
Mike, Paul, and Fred, 9-5. So we all were okay last week. With a spread not quite as good for anybody. Alex and Evan again led 6-7-1. Paul and Fred 5-8-1. And Mike.
What's going on?
4-9-1. I don't know what you're doing with the spread.
I lost my feel for the
overall, Alex maintains her lead at 106-58, followed by me at 101-63. Evan 99-65. Fred 97-66. Mike 96-68.
Oh, I gotta get out of the basement.
With the spread, Paul 80-76-8. Another push last week. Followed by Alex 78-78-8. Fred 77-79-8. Evan 73-83-8. And Mike 68-88-8.
Okay, there goes college
this is
for
not
your kids.
Not an L for love, Mike.
It's all right.
All right, so we got a complicated schedule, so let's get right to it. Tomorrow, I'm sorry, at 12:30 p.m., 12:30 p.m., not a 1 o'clock start, as it always is.
I love the 12:30.
Yeah, it's nice.
Used to be 9:30.
4 and 6 Packers are at the 8 and 2 Lions.
It's like it did.
Detroit by 7.5.
Detroit Feel the excitement. I'm going to take Detroit, but I'm going to take those points from Green Bay because I'm terrible at picking with the spread.
You really are. You really are.
It's abysmal.
I mean, the fact that you just made that pick, I'm just like,
what are you
that's
doing?
why he's got the record he has.
Hey, I got to stick with it.
Go ahead.
I'll put Fred down for
Detroit.
Detroit.
Do we have Alex's picks, or am I just going?
I don't
Now
know.
just go. We'll get them from her.
Okay.
I should probably check. Sometimes she sends them to me on the Slack.
So I have the Lions in this game.
She does not.
I was pretty impressed by them last week. Just they could have easily lost it. That could have been a dud, and they did come back in the fourth quarter. But
some grit.
I like the Packers to cover this spread. Divisional game, island game. I think the Packers keep it close.
Who's
but
better,
the Lions win.
Brock Purdy or Jordan Love?
Brock Purdy.
Jordan Love or Mac Jones?
Ooh.
Mac Jones.
Really?
I think so.
Wow.
I might go Jordan Love on that one.
Yeah, Jordan Love's starting to come on a little bit.
I
No?
need to see more of Jordan Love.
Yeah.
He's very sporadic. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just going off what we watched in Green Bay. Very
I mean, in fairness to
sporadic.
Jordan Love, he's played 10 games.
Yeah.
Mac Jones played 3 years.
Right.
I will take Detroit both ways.
Yeah.
I think that they bounce back because even though they won the game, it's kind of like they lost, like they played so
they're
badly.
mad.
I think they got to bounce back.
By the time the 4:30 game starts, are we going to be sick of hearing about John Madden?
Oh no.
No?
R.I.P.
No, I know, but they're dedicating like the game to John Madden, aren't they?
Oh, really?
Yeah, something like
I
that.
thought it was Jimmy Johnson was going into the ring. That too.
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about the broadcast.
Jimmy,
the
In
broadcast.
1923.
Did you take Detroit? Did you ever make a pick for this game?
Yeah, I told you. You knew Detroit both ways.
He's going to get the kick out. Boom, right there.
Yeah, 4:30 on CBS. 4-7 Commanders at the 7-3 Cowboys.
Cowboys by 12.5.
Jeez.
Ooh, that's a big spread.
Dallas is like 3 weeks in a row they've had like double-digit spreads. I feel like, and so usually what I do, I'm going to take
so
Dallas
you know,
to win.
I know you always accuse me of holding out information.
Own somebody?
They covered both of those previous
I know.
enormous spreads.
I took it last week, but somehow I still came out on the bottom. I'm going to take Dallas, and I'm going to lay those points.
I'm gonna take Dallas both ways. The Commanders, they stink. That's it. That's all I got.
That's the tweet.
I will take Dallas to win, but I will take the points. I don't think Washington flat out stinks like they did last week. I think they clean it up a little bit. 12.5 is a lot. Washington, Thanksgiving, I think they'll play a better game and keep it reasonably close.
Paul, great minds think alike. Cowboys win, but they do not cover, so I'll take the hook. NBC, 8:20 p.m. The 7-3 49ers, led by Brock Purdy, are at the 6-4 Seahawks.
Niners by 7. Mike, again,
on the road.
In the interest of not holding out information, the whole weirdness of the NFC West, the Seahawks own the Niners.
That's what I thought. I was going to say that. I thought that's what it was, but I wasn't 100%.
I appreciate that
The
information.
Rams own the Seahawks own the Niners own the Rams.
And everybody owns
the Cardinals.
It's just it's a circle thing. I'm going to take San Francisco, but
Circle what?
I'm going to
what?
You know what I mean. I'm going to take the points though, based on Paul's information. I think it might be close, but don't listen to me.
We probably shouldn't.
No, you shouldn't. I'm bad.
I'm going to take the 49ers both ways.
Yes, I am going to take San Francisco, but I will take the point. Do you have any injury information on Geno Smith? Because I don't feel great about taking the points with Drew
He did
Lock.
finish that game last
week.
week.
He did. No information. I'm going to take the points. I'm going to go with the whole Seattle owns San Francisco.
Let's
Nonsense.
See. You would think that they'd give you stuff, right?
Yeah. So
limited,
Seattle,
but looked good in practice.
NFL
limited, but looked good. Put a little
just like Will Greer.
Good beard.
Looks great and
Strong beard.
Great. Good tattoo game.
So Fred
does have a good. That's actually
I am going to go with the Seahawks to cover. 49ers win. So I'm going to give Pete Carroll, one of the best coaches in the game.
Petey
just keeps inventing that team.
Yeah, really good
keeps
cheerleader.
finding a way to go 500.
Really cheers hard on the side.
They'll be 6-5
This guy
after this game.
doesn't want to give credit to anyone
Carroll's
that's
a pretty
under
good
40
coach.
years old.
Carroll's a pretty good coach.
What do you mean?
Hey.
Brock Purdy's under 40 years old, and I bash him all the time.
Friday, the Prime Video game that we talked about earlier at 3 p.m. Eastern. 3 p.m. Eastern. 7-3 Dolphins at the 4-6 Jets.
Miami by 10.
10.
Wow.
Tim Boyle.
Boy, I am a little bit tempted to take the points. I definitely think Miami's going to win, but I think Tim Boyle,
Yeah, but I
I'll
mean,
lay the points.
Tim Boyle shouldn't be the factor of what you think is going to happen in this game because he's
That's
at least
true.
as good as the guy
That's true.
he's replacing.
That's true. I think it was
you
just
don't know
more.
that.
No, he's not.
Oh,
They do.
This guy was horrifically bad in college.
Tim Boyle?
Yes.
How did he get
at
to the pros?
At like 3 different places. I have no idea. Do you know he never threw more touchdowns than interceptions in college?
Oh, is that right?
Jeez, they're just giving starting jobs away these days.
Talk about
Brock Purdy. I mean, come on.
exactly. In the interest, did you pick?
I did Miami, and I'll lay the points.
In the interest of giving credit to somebody that's over 40, Vic Fangio against Tim Boyle is a one-sided mismatch. I'm taking the Dolphins both ways.
Yes, I am as well.
Yeah, I guess I will too. All right, Sunday at 1 on Fox, the 5-5 Saints are at the 4-6 Falcons.
Atlanta by 1.
Desmond Ritter
There's a
moving the needle.
There's
huh?
a handful of like 1-point spreads this week.
I don't like that.
I don't like those.
Basically a pick 'em. I'll take Atlanta at home. I'll lay a point.
Yeah, it looks like. Did you already say Desmond Ritter back?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Saints in this game because I feel like when it comes to these types of games where I don't feel good about either team, the Saints find ways to win those types of games. I'm
That's
taking
true.
the Saints.
Good theory.
That is
I like
true.
that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with my boy Bijan Robinson.
if he gets the ball.
They're gonna give him the ball a little bit more this week. I'll
Okay.
take Atlanta.
I'm going to go with the Saints to win this game.
I think we picked that game right.
Yeah.
Like, no, New Orleans, Atlanta.
Well, thanks for
1
nothing.
point spread. 2 picked New Orleans, 2 picked Atlanta. I think we got that right.
Yeah. 1 o'clock, CBS, 6-4 Steelers are at the 5-5 Burrow-less Bengals.
Pittsburgh by 1.
No Burrow.
No Burrow.
Joe
Burrow.
Kenny Pickett. I don't want to see poor Evan have to wade into the Kenny Pickett mentions anymore.
It's just Tamara.
Just Tamara. Well, in honor of Tamara, I'm going to take Pittsburgh, and I'll lay the point. Cincinnati reeling from the loss of their quarterback.
And Pittsburgh probably reveling in the loss of their offensive coordinator.
Right, there you go. Blame Canada.
That's true. I didn't think of that. This is like, because they could rally around Jake Browning, but they also could rally around the offensive coordinator thing. So it's which rally do you want to go to?
They might fold. Our quarterback's out. We're out of it. We just need a good pick now.
Yeah.
Tank.
I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh, but reluctantly. I don't feel good about it, and I'm gonna take I'm gonna just go Pittsburgh both ways.
Yeah, I'm going to take Pittsburgh, too. I feel like Evan. I don't feel great about it. This is strictly a roll of the dice that they get a little bump in losing a coordinator who evidently was really beyond bad.
Blame Canada.
Yeah, I mean, if Bengals weren't such a terrible organization, I'd be picking them, but I'm going to go with the Steelers because I think they are going to rally a little
There's
bit.
no more Joe Burrow, Fred. You can just
Yeah.
you
No,
can just
I like
trash
Joe
them all
Burrow.
the time.
Burrow,
No, that's what
I
I
love.
mean. You have no reason to like them anymore. He's
You're-
out.
you're
Like, You
right.
can just trash him all the
Yeah,
time
good
now.
point. Good point.
Right?
Good point. 1 o'clock CBS. This is a good game. I know Paul doesn't like division games, but the 7-3 Jaguars are at the 6-4 Texans.
Jacksonville by 1.5.
Whew. This is a good game of two up-and-coming teams. I'm going to go with, what'd you say, by 1.5?
Yes.
Jacksonville? I'm going to take Jacksonville. I think they have the better quarterback right now, but, of course, impressed with what Houston's been doing, but I'll take Jacksonville.
Do they?
Maybe. C.J. Stroud?
I don't know about that, but I don't know where I'm at. I think it's too early to crown the Stroud.
I agree. You mean he's not the MVP?
He's not the MVP, but neither is Brock
Rookie of the
Purdy.
year?
Rookie of the
So
year,
silly.
definitely. Rookie of the year front runner for sure. I'm going to go with the Jags the same reason with as Deuce. I just think that they're more ready, for these types of games. Been more battle tested. So I'm going to take Jacksonville.
Heavy is the crown.
Yeah, I'm going to roll the dice. I'm going to take the home team. I'm going to take Houston.
Okay. I'm going to go with Trevor. Ride that bandwagon. Trevor Jackson. Trevor Lawrence gets it done. Trevor Jackson. Who am I thinking of?
I don't know. First names throw me off.
Usually I can decipher you, but no idea.
He does
what
have
you're
two
thinking.
first names.
Yeah,
Didn't think
true.
of that.
Yeah, so Jaguars. And they cover at 1.5, by the way.
BT-dub.
1 o'clock CBS, 4-6 Buccaneers at the 5-5 Colts.
Colts by 2.5.
Really?
Jeez.
I give Colts a lot of credit for fighting this year.
Yeah, so they cut Shaq Leonard out just like that.
He's bad.
So, all right.
How did he go from like one of the best guys in the league 2 years ago to now he's just cuttable?
Can we waste 30 seconds on this?
Ding, he is done.
Okay, as long as you hurry.
Are you,
ding, ding.
How can you possibly still, as a Patriots fan, be advocating adding people?
It's so true.
Right?
Like, as soon as this went down, someone in my, commenting on my notes, like, sign Shaq Leonard now. Like, all caps. I was like, really? Like, forget about what you think of Shaq Leonard, what he is as a player anymore. Let's just say, for argument's sake, he's still really good.
Right.
Why would you want to add that right now?
You're not doing it. You're not doing anything.
And in the words of Evan, who was like, I mean, they got Jelani Tavai and Bentley. I guess they're okay at inside linebacker. We were trying to talk like what their needs are going to be. I'm like, I guess they're okay.
He hasn't started he's had a lot of injuries and stuff, but he hasn't really even been a regular player for the Colts in a while.
He went from Darius to Shaq. It all went downhill.
Right? I was thinking about that. It's like you changed your name and now you stink.
And I know no one's going to claim him with that contract. But you see the numbers that he's still owed?
Yeah.
Now that contract's going to go away, but
nice.
Yeah.
Remember when you were a kid, you go to the store and, can I get something? You got enough toys. That's what you should be telling Patriots fans.
You got enough problems.
Well, we're not adding.
What toys do we have?
Move through the season and just get on with it.
We got 99 problems, but a middle linebacker ain't one, maybe.
Ish. Colts by 2.5.
That's a tough one. And I'm not going to give them a bump for losing Shaq Darius Leonard. I'm going to give Tampa. Upset. Whatever.
I'm also taking the Bucs in this game. I think the Bucs have been frisky, and I think Baker Mayfield's been okay, and I just don't really think Gardner Minshew's very good, so I'm going Bucs.
I agree about Minshew, but I'm going to take the Colts. I just think they're better at home, and they find a way to get the win coming off the bye.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Colts. They found their stride last week, and so
it cracks me up that he still says things like that. They won their Super Bowl last week. They got a lot of confidence out of that.
So I'm going to go with the Colts.
One of the worst games in the history of the league.
Sunday at 1 on Fox, the 1-9 Panthers are at the 3-7 Titans.
Titans by 3.5.
Oh boy, now this is one, folks. Oh, God. I mean, we're kind of rooting for Carolina here.
We sure are.
I don't think they got it in them, though. I'm going to go Tennessee at home.
2 losses.
And I'm going to lay the points.
I'm going to pick with my heart here, and I'm picking the upset. I'm picking the Carolina Panthers.
Who did you pick?
I picked the Tennessee Titans.
I am picking the Panthers. I think that the Titans, I think they might be giving up a little bit. I think they're...
Yeah, and that's why I'm a little... surprised. I think Carolina is going to be like a 2 or 3 win team. Tennessee is right with you.
Yeah.
You can't afford to have them lose games like this. That could put Tennessee ahead of the Patriots.
You could look at it that way.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to finish behind Carolina, in other words.
Yeah, you have this philosophy a lot, even with standings, if a team's just too far away, just let them go.
He doesn't
let
go. He doesn't like having to leapfrog.
Send them out to pasture.
You're right.
I think Carolina's really
terrible.
That's a team that tanked. They got rid of a lot of players in the offseason.
Yep.
I'm with Evan. I think Carolina's going to win this game. I think the Will Levis thing, that one little bump they had, I told you when I watched some of the highlights, it didn't look like it was, quote, sustainable. It hasn't been. He's been a disaster.
Yeah. I want the Panthers to win, but I think the Titans are going to win this game. So,
I'm looking at you, Mike Vrabel.
All right, now we skip over the Patriots at 1 o'clock, and we go to 4:05. The 4-6 Rams are at the 2-9 Cardinals.
Cardinals by 1, which I thought was a strange
somebody
spread.
owns somebody in this one.
Yeah, the Sharps know something here.
The Rams own the Cardinals.
Everybody owns the Cardinals.
Owns.
The Sharps know something.
The Rams.
Well, Kyler Murray's back. Don't forget.
Yeah, that does.
And they know that.
Yeah, for the third game that he's going to play.
They know it.
They better. They're Sharps. I'm going to take the Rams, and I'll lay the point. What did you say? 1.5?
1.
1.
Yeah, they're getting points. Cardinals are favored.
Give me it. Yeah.
Give it to me.
Give it to me. I'm going to take the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals they're surprisingly better than I thought they would be, and maybe a team kind of like the Lions, where they finished the year off a little bit strong and are a team that people like next year.
Yeah.
With what they're, I don't know. They play hard for Gannon.
They're a model in tanking.
Yeah.
They play hard and they're in every game, and they find a way to lose it.
Yeah.
It's a model in tanking.
So I like the Cardinals.
what's it? Tankathon? Is that the
that's
the
their
website?
site. Yeah, you got it.
Tankapalooza.
That's what the kids call it.
Yeah, I'll take the.
Can't tell.
I'm going to take the Rams. Yeah, I don't feel great about it. Both of these teams are struggling.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals, partly because
You want to root against Matthew Stafford so you can make fun of me.
Sure.
I get it.
And I want the Cardinals to get that third loss. 405 Fox 7-3 Browns are at the 5-5 Broncos.
Denver by 1.5 in what has suddenly become an interesting game in the AFC.
Right?
They're an interesting team, Denver.
Yeah. All of a sudden, the
Playing better.
defense has played much better.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the quarterback at home. I'll take the Broncos. Just DTR. It's not happening.
I'm also gonna take the Broncos, but Vance Joseph having the time of his life running the Broncos defense lately, and I just think that defense really. I think they actually have some good players on that defense too. I don't think it's just smoke and mirrors.
And they play home every week.
And they play at home every week.
It is true.
And Russell Wilson.
It's a big advantage.
It is.
The Russ Magic stuff is gone, but he's at least functioning in the offense at this point. So I like the Broncos.
Yeah, I watched pretty much wire to wire that game the other night against Minnesota. They made
God
some.
bless you.
They made some plays. I mean, they were really good when they had to be down the stretch in a game that they were kind of getting outplayed for the most part. And to your point, like Russell Wilson made some plays when he had to, some big time throws on 4th down, and Cortland Sutton came up big. I think they're going to keep it going.
With
I got
Jerry
the
Jeudy,
Broncos.
too.
I am going to go with the Broncos as well. Sean Payton's kind of getting back into the groove. There was a moment.
This could get him over 500.
Yeah,
right?
there was a moment there where like, oh, is he still able to do it? But he's got them back on the right track. 425 CBS 7-3 Chiefs are at the 5-6 Raiders.
Kansas City by 8.5.
8.5. I'm definitely going with the Chiefs in this one, and I think I'm going to lay the points. I like them to bounce back after that loss to Philadelphia. They'll catch some passes, and the Raiders will lose.
They'll catch some passes.
Well, they didn't catch the passes
Facts.
last time.
Facts.
I like the Chiefs as well, both ways, but they are so 06, 2013 Patriots-y, it's not even funny. But in these types of games, I still like the Chiefs.
Yeah, I will take Kansas City, but on the road division game, I'll take 8.5.
I'm with Paul. Chiefs win, but they don't cover. Raiders cover. 425 CBS 6-5 Bills at the 9-1 Eagles.
Good matchup. Eagles by 3.5.
I don't wish I could say the Buffalo's going to continue to bounce back. I think this is a reality check for them. They still got problems. I'm going to take the Eagles and lay the points.
I'm with Deuce. I think that the Eagles are a weird team to me still. I don't know if they're really playing, but their roster talent, everything just seems so much better than everybody else's. I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to take Buffalo both ways, mostly because Philadelphia is coming off that emotional Monday night road win in Kansas City.
Did you see Nick Sirianni after that?
Yeah,
game?
I thought it was embarrassing.
What a tool.
So I think that obviously meant a lot to them based on that. And rather than just have it be a regular season business trip, I think they put a lot into it. And that's the biggest reason I'm taking Buffalo. But I do fear the Eagles just powering up and running it right down Buffalo's throat.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles are a weird team. Like, their offense seems hitchy to me. You know, maybe that's because of Hurts.
Buffalo's a team that could sign Shaq.
But they have so
interesting.
much talent throughout. They're a balanced team. So I'm going to take the Eagles to beat the Bills, and the Bills dropping to 6-6, and that window continues to close.
Yeah, you ain't lying, because you see the rest of their schedule?
Oh, they got a hard schedule.
Yeah, it's like Philly, Miami on the road, Kansas City, Pittsburgh on the road.
If they don't pull it together, they legitimately might not make the playoffs.
Oh yeah, no, they're in major trouble.
8:20 on NBC. The 8-3 Ravens are at the 4-6 Chargers.
Baltimore by 3.5.
Yeah, I think the Chargers are really struggling right now. I'm going to take Baltimore. They might be the best team in the AFC.
Yeah, I'm taking Baltimore. I can't believe it's only 3.5. I'm taking Baltimore.
I am going to take Baltimore, but I'm going to take the hook.
All right. I'm going to take Baltimore both ways. All right. Monday night, ESPN, ABC, ESPN Deportes, 3-8. Bears are at the 6-5 Vikings.
Minnesota by 3.5.
Justin Fields, he's back. Oh boy.
Guess who's back?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go with the home team. Tough to get a read on where these teams are headed right now. I'll take Minnesota. Lay the points.
I'm gonna take the home team too. But I actually thought the Bears played pretty well last week, and Justin Fields played pretty well. But so I'm gonna take the Bears to cover, but I'm gonna take Minnesota to win.
Yeah, for the 111th time since Justin Fields has been the quarterback of the Bears, I'm going to take the Bears to win outright, and they're not going to, but I'm going to take them.
I'm going to take the Bears too. I just think that eventually he's going to get it, and maybe they'll pull out the win. 1 o'clock, we go back to Sunday at 1, and it's the 2-8 Patriots visiting MetLife to face the 3-8 Giants.
What a game.
Patriots by 3.5.
3.5. Well, I'm going to take the Giants. I wish I could take the Patriots. Too much uncertainty. We don't know who's going to start at quarterback. We saw the Giants were able to, produce some big plays. That's been a problem for the Patriots too. I'm worried that those will be a problem this weekend for them. I like the Giants to score enough to make it happen, but it's going to still be a low-scoring game. I'll take the Giants 19-16.
I also like the Giants. I just don't know who's going to be at quarterback. I don't know if they know who's going to be at quarterback, and Mama's boy is at least playing quarterback for the Giants. They have a little bit of, continuity there. I think it's 16-13 Giants.
Can't wait to watch this one. I am going to have some faith, Fred, that the Giants will make enough mistakes for the Patriots to win. I'm going to say it's going to be a field goal fest. And I have the same score as Mike, 19-16 Patriots. So I will take the Patriots to win, but I'll take in the hook.
Yeah.
I
kind of hope you're right, Paul, and I kind of hope you're wrong. It's one of those seasons for Patriots
I understand.
fans. But I'm going to go with the Giants to win at home, 20-13. 20-13 Giants.
That has to be the first time in the history of the illustrious picks contest that Paul was the only one to take the Patriots.
You're very positive.
Yep, you can wear that badge of honor for the rest of the week.
I'm proud of that.
All right. Coming up next is John Rook in the Playbook. No show tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving. Pre-game show 10:45.
Yep.
On Sunday. Then the game. Then the post-game show. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Thank you for downloading this podcast. Subscribe on Apple, Google Play, and everywhere else you listen. Like the show? Please rate and review us. Listener comments and ratings help keep us high in the podcast rankings so new listeners can find us. Be sure to check Patriots.com for more news and more podcasts.
The world's original podcast.